32 teams came into this second season, all with high hopes of becoming the 7A FHSAA state champion, and now just 4 elite teams remain. 2 of those here tonight, the Lakeland High School Dreadnaughts coming in at 13-0 against the Edgewater Eagles, who come in at 12-1. Their only loss coming to a Haggerty program. Jeff Goddard, Tim Conti, Jeff Goddard alongside me tonight, in for an incredible state semifinal, Jeff. And this would be the first time, obviously, Lakeland has come back to the state semifinal since 2011. And if of course, they advance their first state final game since 2008. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's hard to believe it's been a decade since Coach Bill Castle and the Dreadnaughts have made it to the state championship game, and that's what's on the line tonight. A win puts them back in the state championship game. The last time they made it to the semifinals, like you said, was 7 years ago, and it was a tough, close loss on the road to Jacksonville First Coast. So a lot of history on the line for Coach Castle and Lakeland tonight against an Orlando Edgewater team who 2 years ago, believe it or not, they were 0-10.
That's amazing.
And last year they won the district championship, 8-2 in the regular season. And this year they were actually 9-1 in the regular season, but they were not district champion. As you mentioned, they lost their only game of the year to Haggerty, and so Haggerty was a district champion. That's why Edgewater was only the 7th seed in their region. If they had won that game against Haggerty, they probably have been like a 3 or a 4 seed.
Well, don't think coaches can't make a big difference in this high school level. Cameron Duke coming in since he's been the coach for 2 years, 21-4. And again, as you said, just 2 years ago, 0-10 for this program.
He's a younger guy. It looks like he's got some of his family members on staff, or their dad or brother. And there's 3 Dukes on staff. And Cameron had some nice quotes about Coach Castle in the Orlando paper I was reading today. Just saying, if you coach high school football in the state of Florida, you have nothing but respect for Coach Castle and all he's accomplished. But make no mistake about it, although they respect Lakeland and he's got a lot of respect for Coach Castle, they're not coming in here intimidated or scared or anything like that. They're coming in here to play football, and they're going to be ready to play. And, Tim, the way I see it, tonight you have a classic matchup between a traditional plower like Lakeland High School, 6-time state champion, who's having a dominant year at 13-0. We'll talk in just a few minutes about how dominant they've been. And you have Edgewater. It's kind of an upstart, if you will. They were 0-10 2 years ago. Kind of like UCF had an 0-4 season the year before Scott Frost took over. Their second year. Last year they were undefeated. And it kind of reminds me almost like last year in the playoffs. You had the upstart Jaguars against the perennial Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. And the Jaguars had them down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Of course, Brady came back and the Patriots won. But that's kind of what they feel I have tonight. You have the upstart Edgewater team who is hot. They've been so hot in the playoffs, Tim. They've outscored their opponents by an average of 33 points per game, 141-42, which is a bigger margin than what Lakeland's won their games. But I think Lakeland's won their 3 playoff games by an average margin of 26 points. So they're hot right now, and this is going to be a great game tonight.
A little bit of a surprise in this bracket, again, with Edgewater coming out so strong, but not for the polls. A lot of pollsters had Edgewater listed pretty high to realize they had that opportunity. Of course, again, Cameron Brock just in his 2nd season, Coach Castle in his 43rd season, so quite a contrast as we look back.
Yeah, and obviously we said if they were beating Haggerty to win their district, they would have been probably 2, 3, or 4 seed. Instead, they lose, they're a 7 seed. But I think they've used that loss as fuel to kind of fuel this playoff run. After that loss, that was the next to last game of the regular season. Then they played their rival Boone, crosstown, Boone High School there in Orlando. They won that game by about 32 points. And now they've won 3 games in a row by 33 points each on the road, all 3 games on the road. So Alder Bryant Stadium obviously is a historic venue, great place. It can be intimidating at times. This team, they're road tested. They're not going to be intimidated tonight, Tim.
Yeah, they even said that. I was looking at some of their interviews with the Orlando Sentinel, and they said, listen, we've traveled every playoff game here. We're not afraid to come to Lakeland, although we respect
Lakeland. And they
Lakeland.
haven't all been close games. Games that have been close by. The first game was up in Gainesville against Buchholz. And then they had to go all the way to Tallahassee to play Lincoln. And then last year they were in Jacksonville to play Lee.
Yeah.
So it's not like they've been playing, down the road 30 minutes. They had to make some major road trips. As a matter of fact, by far, this would be the closest game they played into Orlando. So I would imagine they'd have a good turnout tonight.
Yeah, so they've got a travel-tested team. They've got a system that obviously is working for them here in the playoffs, and we'll get to some more statistics about them as we go along. Last week was exciting, Jeff, here at Bryant Stadium. Of course, the regional final against Plant, who was one of our rivals. It really caused us some fits over the last couple of years, but we had an incredible crowd here, probably the best crowd that we've seen in years here at Bryant Stadium, and the Dreadnaughts put on a good show. And let's go ahead ahead and maybe talk
no doubt about it.
about that
Tim,
game a little bit.
Let's be honest, Lakeland ran by Plant last week. Absolutely ran by them. You'll see it a second on their screen. You'll see some stats from last week. As a team, we had 41 carries, 422 yards. That's over 10 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. And, of course, most of that damage was done by the spectacular junior, DeMarcus Bowman. 17 carries, 259 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
But helping him run by Plant was the quarterback, Steve McWilliams, had one of his best games of the year.
Yeah.
Over 100 yards rushing himself. And then linebacker Jahari Martin, who doubles as the short yardage
Trifecta.
running back. He had 3 touchdowns and 50 yards. One of them was a 40-yarder. Normally he only gets 2 or 3 yards, carry, maybe even 1 yard down by the goal line. He had a 40-yard touchdown as well.
Unbelievable.
So just a great performance by the offensive line, opening up holes, and then by the trio of Ski McWilliams, DeMarcus Bowman, and Jahari Martin.
And as you look at those yards down on the track, if you do your quick math, that's over 15 yards a carry. We know he has some big ones, but still 15 yards per carry for DeMarcus Bowman.
Yeah, his 3 touchdowns
Incredible.
were all over 50 yards. So very
and it took him a while to get going, right? I mean,
Yep.
he obviously in the first half didn't have much going, and then just kicked it in high gear big time.
As we talked about last week, the 2 halves against Plant, it was like a tale of 2 games.
Totally different.
The first half was a defensive slugfest. Lakeland scored late in the second quarter to go up 14-3, kind of expand the lead to 11 points there. Very clean game, no turnovers, hardly any penalties by either team. In the second half, it was fireworks, especially the third quarter by both teams, and you started to get a little chippy, some more penalties. So Lakeland needs to play like they did in the first half in terms of playing clean. We'll talk more about that later. But we need to get the offense going like we did kind of, in the second half against a very good Edgewater team. And we'll talk some more later about what Edgewater does offensively. But one thing to keep in mind, if you're a Dreadnaught fan, something to worry about is all those big passing plays that Plant had in the second half last week. Coach Boldini's had a week to try to get some of those blown coverages and miscommunication maybe between the safeties and cornerbacks works out, because this team can pass the ball, and Lakeland needs to be able to defend the pass much better tonight than you did last week, because that was definitely the only weakness of the game defensively. I mean, we dominated Plant up front, no running yards for Plant at all, but they really exposed us with the downfield passing game.
Yeah, that was the question. That was exactly what I put down. You just referenced that. Is did Plant expose something that all these teams, of course, St. Thomas, Venice, the other state semifinal tonight. So again, these 4 teams are all elite programs, and they watch each other. And in fact, did coach for Edgewater see something in that and try to exploit that with his very talented quarterback, which we'll talk more about in just a second. But how privileged we are to be here at Bryant Stadium for this state semifinal game.
4th week in a row.
4th week in a row. I mean, there's nothing like it to have it. Of course, no matter what happens, this is the last game of the 2018 campaign here at Bryant Stadium. And we all hope, of course, next week we will be in Orlando.
It'll be the last webcast, too, because we're not allowed to webcast the state championship games. So we encourage everybody who normally watches, if you're anywhere near Orlando, you can get there. If we win tonight, make sure you come out and support the Dreadnaughts next week. I know we'll be there next week watching in the stands.
Another kind of blackout night, even though we have our orange on, mixing it up here tonight. And the Dreadnaughts are looking to make it a perfect continued 14-0 going into the state championship game. But they're going to have a tough one tonight. And Jeff, just thrilled to have done this season with. We sometimes at the end of the year get at the end of the season or end of the games don't get to say it, but it's been a pleasure, obviously, doing the games with you, and a lot of fun, and what a great season to do it. And we've had Savannah for a few games. Obviously, Savannah has to work tonight, so she's not on the sidelines, but you're going to do some things after the game.
I'll do the interviews after the game, and I mean, it'd be an honor to get to interview Coach Castle at this point of his career after a semifinal win. So. Yeah, obviously we hope the Dreadnaughts win tonight, but it's been a dominant year, Tim. And you might be wondering, how dominant of a year has it been for Lakeland? Well, as you see right now, Dreadnaught domination. Lakeland has outscored their opponents by a score of 46.5 to 7.2. That's an average margin of victory of 39.3.
Man.
That's over 13 games. Only 3 teams all year, Tim, have scored more than 7 points. Of course, that's Manatee, Apopka, and the last week Plant. Those are 3 traditional powers. So, I mean, Lakeland's defense has been dominant all year. Obviously, we said last week, a little bit of a chink with the passing game of Plant, but defense has been dominant. The front 7, probably the best front 7 I've seen at Lakeland in a long time. Then, of course, it's been all DeMarcus Bowman on offense this year. But as Ski McWilliams has gotten healthier second half of the season, you start to get more production from him both in the run game and the passing game. as well. Let's not forget one last comment about the game last week against Plant, that Keon Zipper had perhaps his best game of the year. Had a couple of big catches, broke tackles, including a 65-yard touchdown in the second half last week to kind of put the game away.
I agree. We're going to bring you more, but to honor America right now, please join us for the national anthem and the Dreadnaught Marching Band.
Larry Clark conducts his own arrangement of the national anthem.
Runway to victory set. That's the kind of getting close to the end of the pregame as the
great
Dreadnaught
job by their
Marching
band playing the national anthem
all season. Again, kudos to the band. They've done fantastic, and we really enjoy having them along with us.
Absolutely. And Tim, has been a record-breaking season for junior DeMarcus Bowman. As you see there, 164 attempts, 2,050 yards, and a school record 32 touchdowns.
Wow.
If you do the math, that's an average of 12.5 yards per attempt and 157 yards per game. And he's only a junior, so just a spectacular season by DeMarcus Bowman. And last week, he really showcased his speed on some of those long touchdown runs. And but, he's strong, he can break tackles, he's got great vision. Cutback ability, he's the total package, Tim.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the replays last week, and the comments on the side of the replay, a lot of them were, that guy's D1 for sure. And just that one run where all of us really, our jaws just dropped when he made the corner and then just
the
took off.
58-yarder.
That was an unbelievable run. And his others were spectacular, but there's just something special about that. And that ability, you could see, again, as a junior, could definitely thrust him. Lord willing, stays healthy and keeps his wits about him. He's got a great career. We should see him on Saturdays for sure.
No doubt about it. And we've also had some leading receivers this year, Tim. Wide receiver Chris Howard, 16 catches for 312 yards. That's the most yardage of any receiver. And 3 touchdowns. He's kind of a big play guy. And then we talked about Keon Zipper, and probably had his best game of the year last week, like we said. He's got the most touchdown receptions of the year at 4. And he's got 256 yards over 12 carries. So some big plays from your tight end is always a bonus, really. A lot of times thinking about tight end being more possession type receiver, but he makes big plays for Lakeland.
Well, Zipper is getting a lot of talk too, but maybe you haven't seen quite the flashes of brilliance like we saw last week, but you saw what he's capable of, and his athletic ability as a big man is something that these colleges are really looking at. And so we hope to get another big game from him tonight. It's got to be that complete game when you start to get these deep in the playoffs like this. Even though you have some star players, they hopefully will make their plays and get their yards. You need a complete team effort, and so we're looking for the big one from those other seniors.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll start breaking down this game tonight between Lakeland and Edgewater.
We'll be right back.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans. A Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Back here at Bryant Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see Bill Castlefield and the runway to victory right there, getting set to come alive here at the state semifinal. It's unbelievable to say that. We have the final next week, and this season's coming to a close one way or another. We hope the Dreadnaughts, of course, are a part of it. But have to get by tonight's opponent, Edgewater, who's a good one. Jeff, they've had an offense that's extremely productive, led by an extremely productive quarterback. Let's talk about their offense a little bit and their team in general.
Well, yeah, their quarterback, R.J. Harvey, is committed to Virginia. So he's a D1 prospect. So you see the impact players for Edgewater, quarterback R.J. Harvey, running back Isaiah Connolly, as you see walking on number 1, and defensive end number 44, Nate White. Now, Nate White plays a little bit tight end as well, but he's mainly a defensive player. So let's talk about their offense a little bit, Tim. It's kind of a dual threat type offense. R.J. Harvey's a dual threat quarterback. You'll see him run the ball quite a bit from the quarterback position, but he also can throw the ball, and this might make Dreadnaught fans shudder a little bit, specializing in throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah.
He's got a bevy of talented wide receivers led by number 14, Kobe Stripling, and number 6, I believe it is, Christian Leary. And so keep your eye out for those guys. And then their running back, number 1, Isaiah Connolly. He's not very tall. He's only about 5'9", but he's got a low center of gravity and very hard to get down, very hard to tackle. So our front seven is going to really be tested tonight. Now, a couple other interesting things about their offense. They go no huddle most of the time, and they routinely go for it on 4th down from any part of the field. That's the kind of confidence that Coach Duke has in his offense. So you may not see a lot of punts tonight by Edgewater unless they're really, really deep in their own territory.
A couple things, again, about Edgewater is I was looking at their scoring per quarter, and a lot of their scoring kind of opposite the Dreadnaughts have come in the first quarter. So they are a quick strike team. They want to get out ahead of things, and Harvey obviously is a big part of that. As you said, he can do it all. He has over 2,980 yards of all-purpose yardage and 40 touchdowns. So
it's impressive. That's more than Bowman.
But more than Bowman. So quite a productive quarterback that you have. As Jeff said, they're going to spread the field, and they're going to come at you from all angles. So the defense is going to have to be on cue.
Absolutely. Then on defense, they have a very fast and athletic defense. Coach Harvin told me it's probably as fast of a defense as they've played all year. They like to blitz a lot and try to really disrupt things. So you might see some negative plays, but usually teams that blitz a lot and really try to disrupt things, they do sometimes leave themselves vulnerable to big plays. So whether it's some big plays in the passing game or maybe we can get Bowman on some big runs, we'll see how that plays out. The balance of how many big negative plays their defense creates versus how many big plays they give up to the Dreadnaught offense.
Yeah, very good point. And I know we have, obviously, the Lakeland team. I don't know if we want to highlight some of the Lakeland Impact players. We know these names well.
And you could have gone any number of directions.
You could go a lot of different directions.
So I chose these. Obviously, DeMarcus Bowman has been just spectacular all year, and kind of the offense really hinges on his production.
Yeah.
So obviously he's probably the biggest impact player. But then also Jahari Martin, who is starting linebacker and just had a great year at linebacker, but he also is a short yardage back, and you saw him get 3 touchdowns last week. So he's certainly an impact player, and I expect him to have a big game tonight. And then I went with Finley Graham because he's the guy who plays great at cornerback and great tackler. We saw last week, made some really physical tackles. So he's going to probably have to do that tonight against this talented Edgewater offense. But also he occasionally gets some carries on offense. He's had 17 carries this year for 170 yards. And he's a punt returner and kickoff returner, and you might be able to have a big special teams play. So I expect Finley to have a big impact tonight as well.
He's one of those players that I think can shift the momentum of a game based on some things that you maybe wouldn't expect, either interception or, in fact, a good run back from the punt position. So
then a couple other guys to keep your eyes on tonight for the Dreadnaughts. Of course, number 11, Lloyd Summerall, has really come on strong in the second half of the year from a defensive end position. He'll need to have a big game tonight. And, of course, we just saw Keon Zipper there on the sideline, on the field there. And he had a great game last week, and we expect him to have another great game tonight. He's somebody else that also goes two ways a little bit. You'll see him on defense some as well. So I expect him to have a good game as well.
So a lot of talented players, Jeff, a lot of talented coaching around. So what are some of the keys to the victory, or what do we need to look at here from
All
the
right,
Knots?
so keys to victory for the Dreadnaughts tonight. We're going to advance to the state championship game for the first time in a decade. Number 1, play another clean game. And what I mean by that is not having the jerseys clean when the game's over necessarily, but
opposite, right?
No turnovers like last week, and really limit the penalties, which they did for most of the game last week. They started getting a few penalties there in the second half, but compared to the Kathleen game 2 weeks ago, last week was much, much cleaner, both in terms of turnovers and penalties. So that's important as we watch them about to do the coin toss. But key number 2, establish the ground game and get Bowman going. So 2 things. Number 1, establish the ground game and keep the clock going to keep Edgewater's offense off the field. So that's the first thing. And number 2, get Bowman going, try to create some big plays for Bowman so he can get some touchdowns like we saw last week.
Yeah. And go ahead. Yeah.
No, just my third key is contain Harvey. Like you said, you just had some amazing stats you just gave. The RJ Harvey's had this year, the Virginia-bound quarterback for Edgewater. We got to contain him. Here's the bottom line. They're going to probably get some plays passing against us, as we saw last week, but we got to really contain the run game and contain the quarterback run game. And if they're routinely having to, have second and long, third and long, it gives yourself a chance. But if they're gashing us on the ground and then also able to move the ball in the air, that's when it becomes especially dicey. All year long, as you see, the toss has been made. I'm not sure who won the toss, though. You couldn't quite tell with the camera angle. We couldn't see where the referee was signaling who's getting the ball. But we'll find out soon enough for you.
To expand on what you're saying, Jeff, I mean, I think that with roughly 40, as you hear the cannon, and here come your Dreadnaughts. You never know when they're going to let that cannon fly. And Jeff, to expound on the key to victory, you said control Harvey, and I would just say, they're going to get some points. They average 44 points a game. We average roughly 46 points a game. But I think unquestionably the difference in this is our defense is just stronger than it's been in years and years. And so I think if our defense plays up to the capability that they can do, I think the Dreadnought should prevail. But it's a big but and a lot of ifs, and we got 4 quarters to prove it.
Our front seven's been so dominant, nobody's really been able to run the ball against us. So if we can control Harvey and the run game and force them to have to beat us through the air, then we have a very good chance to win.
As we turn around and get set for the start of the state semifinal game. Jeff, and part of these games, we couldn't do them without sponsors, right? So right now, before the kickoff, we would like to definitely give a big shout out to our sponsor, B&L Tires, and thank them in a mighty way for allowing us to do this webcast. We couldn't do it without them stepping up.
So
we wanted to definitely give them some time. We'll talk about them throughout the game a little bit.
At halftime tonight, the Harry Seafood halftime show, I'll interview a representative from B&L Tires, Tara Felton. So we're excited to find out some more about B&L Tires at halftime tonight.
Very good.
They're located here in Lakeland, and we want to encourage all of our loyal webcast watchers who live in the Lakeland area to go and support BL Tires. I know both my brothers have bought tires there before, and they rave about it. When you need tires, that's the place to go, B&L Tires.
Well, Ryan, everyone, we are the Lakeland Football Webcast, but we'll try to give you good props on Edgewater, too, when they do a good job. We love high school football in general, and Jeff and I will hopefully bring you all the action here of this state semifinal at Bryant Stadium about to get underway. Apparently Edgewater must have won the coin toss because we would have deferred if we won, so the Dreadnaughts are going to get the ball first on offense. Number 82 is set to kick this one away for the Edgewater Eagles. Joseph Ruggiero. Joe Ruggiero kicks it off. It's going to be caught just outside the 10-yard line. Trying to get to the outside, nice block. And Howard gets to the 32-yard line before he runs out of bounds, but a pretty decent return to start things underway. And Ski McWilliams and company will come onto the field
First down and 10.
with their very talented tailback core. Led by one Debo, DeMarcus Bowman, number 3. Keon Zipper, of course, number 9 in the game as the offensive end. Howard spreads out. Darian West, who's been a little quiet but maybe will shine tonight, comes to the near sideline. And 5-yard deep stands Bowman. Skimmick Williams under center. The first play on offense, hands off to Bowman, left side, runs into number 44.
Nathan White, their stud defensive end.
Nathan just filled the gap and did a nice job of stopping Bowman right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Making his presence known very quickly was Mr. White.
Second down and 9.
They give him a yard, 2nd down and 9. Thank you for watching all around Lakeland and all around the state of Florida and all around the country, and even some international viewers. We had 8,500 viewers last week with the Plant game. As we get deep into the playoffs, a lot of curiosity of what these Dreadnaughts are doing. So we welcome you if you haven't joined us before. Bowman gets the handoff again, left side, trying to get around the end, and a good
that's
fast
a late hit
defense.
right there. That's it. No flag? Are you kidding me? He was way out of bounds when that last hit came. I'm surprised we didn't see a flag there, Tim.
2-yard gain to the outside towards the Dreadnought sidelines, and as the entire audience saw a little bit of a late hit in the white paint, we would say, and that hit came, but no flag on the play.
I'm not sure that was a zone replay or that was a straight handoff, but if McWilliams would have kept it, he had a big gain around the middle there.
You know where these refs are out of tonight, Jeff?
I've not heard, to be honest with you.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Again, one single set back in Bowman, who gets the carry off of the right side of the line, trying to go off tackle, and he's stopped.
So 3 straight carries to DeMarcus Bowman. He only gets about 4 yards, maybe 5 at the most total. About 5 yards on 3 carries. So we'll have to punt the ball to Edgewater. Not a good start to the game for the Dreadnaught offense.
Definitely predictable, but that's what your bread and butter is. And Coach Castle just tried to go with Bowman with some straight smash mouth football, and Edgewater was ready for it. Keen on Bowman. They stopped him only for 5 total yards there on that first series. 4th and 5. We'll punt things away. J-Ho set to punt. Low snap, kind of a low kick. It's going to bounce, and we outran the coverage, but some Dreadnoughts are there behind him at the 40 to knock him down. First player should have had him, but he ran right past him.
But they kept him to a minimal gain there. As you see right there, they're kind of risk-taking team. Most guys do not field that ball. I mean, if he muffs it, I mean, Lakeland's right there to recover it. But they're playing with no fear right now. They're playing with confidence, and they're playing. They're going for it.
Those risk versus reward kind of teams. They're willing to go for it on 4th down a lot, as Jeff said. We hope we get them in a lot of 4th down situations. As a good crowd for the Eagles here tonight in their gray, white, and kind of maroon or red color. They're going to drop back, pass it over to number 14, and stuck by number 5. What a great play by Jason Hampton right there on the scene. They just threw it in the
That's good
flat.
coaching and good scouting. He was prepared. He was right there. He almost caught the ball. I mean, tagged him immediately. So that's a loss of about 3 yards on the play. But 2nd and 13.
It was a nice play by R.J. Harvey getting it to his receiver, but Jason Hampton was right there, nowhere for him to run for a loss on the play. 2nd 13 upcoming, just underway here at Bryant Stadium in the state semifinal.
The refs are blowing the whistle here. Let's see what that's all about. No flags on the field. So not sure what that delay was for, but now we're ready to play.
Just a little breather the refs needed maybe. As Harvey set in the shotgun again, spreading the field, they send number 10 outside to the end position. Single set back, hand off to number 1, who finds a gap, breaks the line of scrimmage and picks up about 5 yards. Isaiah Connolly, who was one of the key players to watch.
Starting to back out about 5 yards. As we told you, they go no huddle, so Lakeland's going to probably have to limit their substitutions tonight. As you see the coach signaling the play over to R.J. Harvey.
Bit of a short spot, only gave him 3 yards, 3rd and 7 down. They must have seen something here as Harvey.
That was 2nd 13.
2nd 13, that's right. Harvey calls, throws it over the middle, too high. They tried a quick slant pattern over the middle to their receiver 6, Christian
That
Leary.
ball sailed on Harvey big time. So we'll see if they...
A little bit of nerves here.
No, they're not going to go for it. They're going to punt. Now, another thing that Coach Harvin told me is that they also have a penchant for doing trick plays on special teams, going for it, on special teams as well. So just because the punter's on the field does not mean for sure they're actually going to punt the ball. As we normally have our 2 guys back to receive punts, and you see that tonight, both Finley Graham and Chris Howard.
Often it takes teams a couple minutes to settle down as number 9 Zipper checks a little bit late for this defensive special teams. Let's see if they go after the ball. And the punter, who's set just beyond the 30 at the 31. A little bit of a low snap. He has plenty of time. High punt.
Nice
Boy,
punt.
Angled to the side. That's a beautiful punt. It's going to be caught by a Dreadnought who has 1 block and now 2 blocks. Can he get to the outside? He's got a host of blockers. Number 1, Finley Graham down the sideline. Finley Graham is going to be knocked down and around the 40-yard line, but a beautiful return by number 1, Finley Graham.
That's why he's an impact player. He can flip the field on special teams, Tim.
igniting the
One guy
crowd.
to be the punter. If he'd have gotten by the punter, he would have took it to the house.
In his eyes, I could see him looking at the punter. He was deciding whether he should cut back or not and trying to just keep getting as many yards down the sideline as he
If he would
can.
have kind of slowed down a little bit, let the punter run past, he might have been able to get by him. But nonetheless, a great punt return. He caught the ball at around his own 20. So we're going to give him credit for about a 40-yard punt return there.
Set up the return nicely, picked up his blockers, and then shot to the outside, went down the sideline in a beautiful starting position for the second offensive series for Ski McWilliams and company, now already into
Look for
Eagle
Coach Castle to
territory.
maybe take a shot downfield here, Tim.
Likes to keep putting some pressure on the defense as they shift for the Eagles. Back, shotgun, handoff Bowman. Good block this time. Left side, Bowman picks up 2 or 3 yards, but stingy defense still comes up and fills the gap.
Well, so far we're not seeing very big holes against this tough, athletic Eagle front seven.
Well, what I'm noticing, Jeff, is there is a tiny gap quick, but then it closes just as quick. So the linebackers are coming in filling in the holes.
They're filling the right gap, and they're playing a solid, fundamental position defense.
So he's actually getting past the defensive line, but the linebackers are just closing in as Howard goes out wide, Darren West, the near side.
We're blocking the line, but we're not getting blocking on the next level.
Fullback in there to block 25, back to pass. Ski McWilliams has plenty of time. He's going to take off down the sideline, and he's going to cut back. He should have just kept going down the sideline.
Yep.
Helmet gets ripped off. He'll have to come out one play.
Forward progress at the 33, but now, as you said, he'll have to come out for a crucial 3rd and 3. This is 4-down territory, though, for Lakeland. I don't see us punting here, and probably too long for a field goal. So I think we have 2 plays to get 3 yards. Tim, of course, Mason Martin is a great thrower, and there's from around this spot in the field early in the year where he threw that fade in the corner of the end zone. So, I mean, you think, oh, they're just going to run the ball with Martin in there, but I can see Castle throwing the ball here.
He's got that ability, and he came in and threw one of the best balls we've ever seen a high school quarterback throw, just on the money. He's got that capability.
It's the power formation here, so I think you're going to see a rushing attempt.
Beautiful mullet working for Mason Martin as he is going to hand off to Jahari Martin. Jahari Martin again, look at him go. Jahari breaking tackles down there to the 10-yard line, number 19, who is saying, you know what, hitter. I'm just not going to get those 2 or 3 yards. I'm going to keep running.
I like it. So far, we've had problems getting Bowman on track, so do the power, go to your power lineup, give it quick hitters. Jahari Martin gets 23 yards. So that's going to be a first down and a 1st and goal as we're right at the 10-yard line. So 1st and goal for the Dreadnaughts.
Tanner Howe comes in for the Knots. Now he checks back out, limping a little bit, so they brought him in and then took him right back out. And Ski McWilliams is under center, power I formation. Well, the power formation.
No, actually, it's not 1st and goal. They got him marked around the 11.
44 still in there. Jahari Martin gets the call again, trying to run behind his big offensive line and gets a couple yards.
Jahari Martin on the carry.
Coach Castle likes what he sees from number 19. He's wanting to stay with that flow a little bit.
The ball was spotted about the 11.5-yard line, so we can definitely get a first down inside the 2.
As you can see, first quarter, this is the Dreadnoughts' second offensive possession. Both teams kind of stuttered on their first try. This time the Dreadnoughts moving it on the heels of a fine return by Finley Graham.
You got single coverage out on both receivers, especially the one in the wide boundary.
Bowman, the lone setback, gets the carry left side. Good blocking, cuts back. Bowman, touchdown! DeMarcus Bowman off the left tackle. Beautiful play by Debo as he just followed blockers, tucked it in, used a little power at the 2-yard line.
Big hole that time, and they got a little second-level blocking. DeMarcus Bowman, his 33rd touchdown of the year in the Dreadnaughts, courtesy of a short field by the Finley Graham punt return. Jump out and ahead, Tim, 6-0.
Well, keep pounding things a little bit. And again, DeMarcus Bowman's the kind of running back, it almost fires him up when you stop him. Like he's going to want to challenge you. And if you stop him, he's going to continue to want that ball to come back and smash you in the mouth. He did it right there.
So give him credit for an 8-yard touchdown.
Jason Hohenthainer, who's been spectacular last week. Let's see if he continues.
That
was a low ball shot, and it's no good. We hope he doesn't revisit a couple weeks ago against...
he struggled 2 weeks ago against Kathleen.
Anyways, no good. 5 plays, 40 yards.
Tim, that was kind of backwards what you normally see. You normally see DeMarcus Bowman getting you down in the inside the 5, and then you see Martin score. But Martin had the big run, the 23-yarder on 3rd down to set up the 8-yard DeMarcus Bowman touchdown.
We'd remind you that rights to the webcast of the state semifinal game in the 2018 FHSA Football Championships have been granted to the Lakeland Football Webcast by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this webcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. I'd like to say hello to my family. Olivia, Amanda, Melissa, Bradley. I don't know if Bradley and Isaac are there, but you guys, thanks for tuning in. Dreadnaught's put the first points on the board. I'm glad you're watching as J-Ho kicks it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Tim, the amazing thing about that punt return a while ago by Finley Graham is that punt has some serious hang time.
Yeah.
I mean, normally when we see a punt that much hang time, it's hard to get a good return. So that really kind of made it all the more amazing. The nice 40-yard return that
it was actually so deep the special teams didn't get down to Finley Graham in time, and he had time to make that
but
first
normally
initial
with
move.
That much hang time,
you think
should
so?
You should have plenty of time to get down there.
Maybe some good blocking going on.
There's something on that. Oh, never mind. There's the football. I was like, what's on the field? But it's the football as Edgewater is running out the lineup.
So this will be Edgewater's second try. Dreadnought stopped them on their first offensive attempt here. They're heading obviously north to south as Harvey sends a man in motion down the inside, and Harvey's going to keep it, run off tackle, now shifts it outside. Harvey's got some legs, gets to the sideline, and then gets pushed out of bounds.
Great job by Harvey bouncing outside and getting a first down, a gain of about 14, 15 yards.
Q Hall, thankfully, there for the Dreadnoughts to knock him out of bounds, but still a 14, 15-yard gainer.
Yeah, 14-yarders now at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Harvey spreads the field again, 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Harvey gets a low snap, and nice defensive stand
this
by
time
the
they
Knots.
stuff Isaiah Connolly, their tailback. Trey Huntley, Jason Hampton, and Latrell Jean, all 3 Dreadnoughts in there making that tackle. 2nd and 9 now. Go back to the extra point, Tim. The timing was off with the snap and the hold, and just that's not all on Jace. That's kind of a whole. The timing was off all the way around, but those are crucial. As my good friend Keith Corney texted reminding us, missing extra points could cost us the game. We got to try to make our future extra points for sure.
They're going to go deep. They have a man and good coverage. As a matter of fact, great coverage.
That's Finley. I think Finley Graham. No, that's
Hall.
Q Hall on the coverage.
Well, that was beautiful.
So
stride for stride, actually in front of the receiver there.
So far tonight, the pass coverage looks great by the Lakeland secondary. Much improved from last week.
So just a fly or a post pattern, nothing fancy there, and Harvey just stepped back and launched one man-to-man coverage, but Q Hall was all over it, unlike last week again, so things may be short up there in the long game for the Knots. Let's see, 3rd and 9 upcoming for Harvey, who takes one step, takes off. He's going to unquestionably try to get it himself, finds a gap, but not enough. Good job.
Got him down. They gave him a nice spot. I thought he should be down to 41. They gave him the 42, so it's going to be 4th and 2. So I would imagine this is a play where you're going to probably see Edgewater go for it, as they like to do.
Yep, Antonio Ware with the stop, and they quickly get up to the line of scrimmage on a 4th and 3, and the Dreadnoughts are going to have to stop some of these. Let's see if they can contain Harvey.
Some noise.
Harvey has it, number 1. Connolly gets stuffed. Drops back, and it'll be Dreadnought ball.
It looked like he was going to get it. It looked like he was going to get it, and then Lakeland stuffed him. Great play by the Lakeland front 7.
Dindy and
Lloyd
Summerall came up and just laid a shot on him.
The senior Division I prospect makes a big-time play right there. And that's going to be a break in the action now for the first quarter water break with 5:26 to go in the first quarter. Lakeland is up 6-0, and they're in business again. 1st and 10 at the Edgewater 43-yard line.
Let's go ahead and take a timeout. You're watching the 2018 FHSA Football State Semifinal on the Lakeland Football Webcast.
This is what you expect.
Don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Hey, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, and we'd like to remind everyone that at the end of the first quarter, we will do the Dreadnought Wave to the Pediatric Center on the 5th floor over there, and it's a fun tradition that everyone gets involved in, and it's been a great addition to this season.
I know that Edgewater likes to go from 4th down a lot, but that's pretty gutsy. You're already down 6-0. You can give Lakeland the ball in your territory. Let's see if their defense can make a stand.
Got to admire that risk that they're taking as Ski McWilliams hands off again to Bowman, who makes a cutback and fell down, just tripped. Boy, he wanted that. He was going to cut hard back to the right side, and there was only one player there, and that could have been a big gainer for the trip.
Great trip tackle, or ankle tackle, if you will, by Edgewater. No gain on the play.
I'd like to say thank you to Bedrock's Wings and Downtown Harry's for being tonight's Press Box sponsors. Thank you very much for filling us up here. Go visit Bedrock's and Harry's. Support our sponsors.
Just want to give a shout out to Keith Cornea, watching up in the mountains of Tennessee, and also Coach Baylor. You just saw Coach Baylor on the sideline. Coach Baylor's parents are watching in the D.C. area, and his extended family is watching Indiana.
Timeout called just before the snap by Coach Castle.
Timeout, Dreadnaught.
Just Coach Castle maybe saw something he didn't like there, wanted to call a timeout.
Speaking of Coach Castle, Jeff, if you want to get up close and personal, you have the Dreadnaught Highlight Report with Coach Castle. Monday night, December 3rd at 7 o'clock in the LHS Film Room. That is the locker room. Come listen to Coach Castle talk Dreadnaught football and go over the opponent. And hopefully highlight the championship game. We'll see.
We hope so.
A lot of work to do here, though, at Bryant Stadium against a very talented Edgewater team.
We'd also like to remind you to please visit the concession stand in the north end zone to support your LHS Dreadnaught marching band.
We'll keep you apprised if we get a score in the other state semifinal game, St. Thomas and a scrappy Venice team.
Either way, that's going to be a tough matchup.
Hopefully we'll at
next
least
week for the winner of this
wear
game.
out St. Thomas a little bit, at least give them
And
a...
Venice beat him a couple years ago in
Yeah.
the playoffs, so it should be a good game.
McWilliams sends Bowman in motion and hands off on an inside handoff.
That's Finley Graham, I think. No, that's Howard on the carry.
Here's Howard on the carry.
That's a play that we've seen some success this year. Lakeland have both with Howard running and Finley Graham, but Edgewater all over that one and actually lost a yard. Should be 3rd and 11 from the 44-yard line. So, right, when you go for it on 4th down, you don't get it. Then basically you're saying not only do you have confidence in your offense to get the first down, but if you don't get it, you're saying you got faith in your defense to make a stand.
Well, obviously,
So far, so good on first two plays for the Eagle defense.
Obviously, we've had some success running, but the one time we tried to pass, we had incredible protection. Let's see if we do that again here. Ski McWilliams also is going to drop back, roll out, has plenty of time. Take your time, throws it, caught on the sideline, wide open, and a nice little dance on the sideline after the catch, and a late flag coming in.
Deshaun Graham with the catch and a first down, pending the flag. I wonder if he went out of bounds and came back in maybe and caught it.
Well, it could be, but I don't know why they throw a flag for that. That's not a penalty. That just is down where he goes out of bounds. Interesting.
So if the
call
play
on it.
stands, it'd be about a 23-yard gain.
What is that?
Illegal touching against the
Yes, exactly. It's illegal touching. I think he did not reestablish himself maybe completely before he caught that ball.
Huh.
That's a big break for Edgewater. Is now it's going to be 3rd and even longer. And that takes to a huge play, the first pass attempt of the night by Ski McWilliams.
Ski did a nice job of getting to the outside and then finding his receiver. Had plenty of time again. There was a good blitz coming, but just with a rollout, bought himself enough time to set those feet and throw the ball. But as you said,
There's one thing if you're pushed out of bounds, you can come back in and catch it. But if you're not pushed out of bounds, I don't think you can catch the ball, even if you get back in. Hence the illegal touching. That's a 15. What?
yeah, I didn't realize that was such a severe penalty.
Well, that can't be. That's a weird mark off. That's 15. I guess around 15 yards. I was supposed to look like 17, but 15-yard penalty. I did not realize that was such a long penalty. Wow, huge turn of events here early in this ball game.
That's the first time we've had that called this season.
Yeah, you don't see it very often.
Yeah, they're talking
and
to the
to
coaches
be
about
honest with you, I think that
touching now a 15-yard penalty. Brings up
the rule is slightly different in high school, college, and the pros with that.
Ski McWilliams calls for the ball. I had 3 wide receivers to the far side, and that's when he set up the screen with Bowman. Bowman had a block. He's going to try to get to the outside, but a nice job by number 5.
So he gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage, where it'd be about 4th and 12.
Ryan Graham on the tackle.
I like that play call, though, just stacking the side over there and then trying to set up a screen with Bowman, letting his legs potentially get there. But Number 5 did a nice job of kind of just causing enough trouble, Graham, for the Eagles of getting in his way and stopping Bowman's momentum. So,
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the rule is. I don't know if you can't touch the ball, period, once you go out that, if you're not pushed there, or if someone else touches it, then off a tip you can catch it. But I know you can't be the first person to touch the ball for sure. That's going to be against Lakeland. The contact was caused by Edgewater, but Lakeland moved first, so I think that's going to be a false start against Lakeland.
hopefully shouldn't be too much problem as...
Actually, that might even be a good thing. Gives Jace a little bit more room to punt. Although based on his last punt, I don't know if he needs more room.
Jace is a punting specialist, but he's gotten a few good ones off, but we want to see him boom a few. He's got that capability, no question about it. Tightens up a little bit, I noticed. Stiffens up from when he practices in pregame. He's all loose and he stiffens up. That was much better
nice
there.
punt, but
just
very
much
nice.
looser. Great
He actually did
kick.
need more room.
Wow, killed it.
Wow. It's a 50-yard punt.
Well, first down and
So
10.
Tim, that illegal touching penalty could be a major turning point in this game. I mean, if that doesn't happen, we have first and 10 at the 23-yard line. Now we have to punt back to Edgewater and up 6-0 as we scored in the first quarter on a DeMarcus Bowman touchdown run, but then missed the extra point.
Well, you talked about one of the keys to the game, which was playing a clean game, and that one hurt us here in the first quarter with 3:32 remaining. No question about it. As Harvey and company have the ball back at the 20. Now a little bit of a low snap, handoff to Connolly. Tries to get to the outside and gets a good hard hit at the 25. Number 33, boy, took a shot from Connolly. That's Jalen Taylor, but that's okay. He did the job of getting him out of bounds.
He tackled him, but he may have taken the punishment.
I think so.
And one thing I'll say, this referee crew has kind of let some stuff go. We've seen a couple of borderline late hits they let go. That could have almost been a taunting on Connolly, so they're kind of letting him play, which overall I like.
Yep. They tend to do that in the playoffs.
That's Christian Leary on the jet sweep. He gets down after maybe a yard. Actually, they're going to actually mark him back for a loss of one, which I thought he at least got back the line of scrimmage.
Nice job.
But actually, they are going to spot at the 20. These referees are kind of marking in different places. Let's see. One referee's at the 26, one's at the 24, but they're going to put it at the 24, so he actually lost yards. That's a tackle for loss by Lloyd Summerall. He's made two big plays so far tonight for the Dreadnaught defense. Third and 6.
3rd and 6. Another long third down conversion for Harvey. He rolls to the right side. Harvey looking downfield deep, throws to the outside sideline, and nearly the cornerback got to him, but number 14 was able to hole it in.
It's Kobe Stribling their top receiver. Gets about a 11-yard gain or so and be enough for Eagles first down.
Dreadnaughts were right there, just a hair too late to get a hand in there and disrupt the pass.
So you see the offensive line looking at some film. Get ready for the next time they go back on the field.
2:36, the offense moving for Harvey and company, who's the lone setback quarterback
draw.
keeper all together. They get him around the shoulder pads. Good job. Wow. Number 23 for the Knots on a beautiful A.J.
Thomas is the tackle.
Linebacking and the defensive linemen for the Dreadnaughts just having an outstanding season, as Jeff said. The front 7 bring up a 2nd down and 12, 2-yard loss. Similar
no big
sets
plays
to the
so far for the Eagles on offense. Dreadnought defense doing a good job keeping
Leary in
everything
motion,
in front of him
two-step
so
drop,
far.
looking deep this time, getting pressure, throws it over, and caught. No one there, number 10, all by himself. Fumble, knocked out of bounds, but the ball was, wow, what a crunch. 3 Dreadnaughts converged and drilled number 10, Bowie, and that ball came flying out for a couple yards backwards.
Both teams are bringing it down on defense, Tim. Both teams have laid some pretty vicious hits on ball carriers.
Well,
that's called putting a hat on the ball, Tim.
No question about it. Harvey has a single setback, 2 wide receivers to the far side. On a 3rd down and 6, they hand off to Connolly. Connolly gets stopped at the line, then stacked up and dropped. He's going to be 2 or 3 yards short. Let's see what they do here on 4th down.
Lloyd Summerall in on another tackle there with about 2 or 3 of his teammates, Jahari Martin being one of them.
Each teams have kind of a rallying cry, and Edgewater's are the 3 T's, Jeff. They say toughness, do it together, and then avoid turnovers. So those are their 3 T's that they kind of abide by in this playoff run.
Say that again, play together.
Toughness, do it together, and no turnovers. They call them the 3 T's.
Watch out for the fake here. It's only 4th and 3.
Sometimes you have to take those risks here at Bryant Stadium as they're going to punt this one away. Oh, boy, that's a nice spiral, but it's going to be caught by Howard. Howard's going to get a block and wait, and thought about going to the opposite sideline and then just got
Gets it out to the 30-yard line. Lakeland, solid field position to start this next drive. Want to real quick give a shout out to my Uncle John and Aunt Kathy who are watching the game tonight out in North Lakeland. And Uncle John's class of 59, Tim, and they're going to be hosting their annual Christmas party coming up on December the 15th. And people from the classes of 58, 59, and 60 are welcome to come. If you're interested in coming, you can contact John Goddard via his email, and that's jgoddardjr@aol.com.
Ski McWilliams on the quarterback keeper. Spins around, has some room. Look at the quarterback go. Out in the open, 50-40, down near the 30-yard line. Beautiful run by Ski McWilliams on the keeper.
Ski was going downhill in the slalom. Slow that time,
was.
Tim. One of his biggest, if not biggest, runs of the year.
Boy, he had a nice...
39 yards for Ski McWilliams.
The linebackers lost him, Jeff. He kind of spun around after he got past the defensive line.
He likes that spin move. He does that quite a bit.
Yeah, and that just kind of freed him up to head straight up the field towards the north goal post. And, again, he's super talented, but there are quick players, obviously, on Edgewater that caught up with him. And still a fantastic, effective run by the quarterback to give the Dreadnaught great field position just outside the 30. This time, number 21, Kellum, who has fresh set of legs, scampering around, and Kellum's going to go down. Gets forward progress just beyond the 30.
Maybe 2 yards. Yeah. Just give him 1 yard, be 2nd and 9.
That probably will be the last play of the first quarter, which will bring us to the Dreadnaught wave.
Nathan White, their big-time defensive end, with another tackle on that play, as you see number 44 there. He likes lean and mean, doesn't he, number 44, Nathan White?
Yeah. That is the end of the first quarter. 6-0 your score.
But Lakeland is driving again at the Edgewater 30-yard line.
Time for all of us to stand up. Our attention goes to the 6th floor of the Barnett Pavilion.
Our new tradition this year.
Yep. All the cell phones going up in the air. I see lots of phones over there in that room. There's a whole bunch of them huddled in there. That's fantastic.
You know, the Edgewater fans are all doing it too. It's nice.
That's awesome.
Show of class and sportsmanship. As you see some of the fans waving back. I mean, you see fans waving, but you just saw some of the kids in the hospital waving at us.
That's very cool.
Which is pretty cool.
The winner of this game advances to the
great new tradition here at Bryant Stadium. It'll be the last time we do it this year, but we'll continue it, of course, next season.
Kind of nice, too. Gives everyone a chance to stretch their legs a little bit here at the end of the first quarter. Take a breath.
So, Tim, so far tonight we've seen all of our impact players make big plays. Finley Graham with the punt return, 40-yard punt return. Jahari Martin with a 23-yard run to set up DeMarcus Bowman's 8-yard touchdown run. Then you've also seen Lloyd Summerall make several plays on defense. So
Lloyd's having a great game so far.
The big-time players are making big plays so far tonight for Lakeland.
And I'm sure. Okay,
St. Thomas already up 14-0 over Venice.
First update, 14-0 St. Thomas.
Not that that's shocking by any stretch of the imagination. So now Lakeland was driving towards the north end zone. Now they'll be driving towards the south end zone. 2nd and 9 at the Edgewater 30-yard line.
Ski McWilliams set calls for the ball, and
he faked it
to Bowman, but man,
got nowhere. And once again, that's number 44, Nathan White, another tackle.
He's a good one.
You guys see about double teaming him.
Yeah, You can tell when we see a lot of games, and he
With him,
is
you know,
solid.
you got him. He's a one-man disruption force. You don't have to blitz when you got Nathan White.
Super athletic. I mean, he seems to cover like 5-10 yard
6'3",
spaces
220.
within a snap of a finger. He's
I
very
haven't
quick.
heard where he's going to college at, but I would imagine he'd be a big-time Division I defensive end prospect.
14 goes out to Sean Graham.
He looks like he's already got a college physique, to be honest with you.
Zipper on this near side, too. We have 4 wide receivers split. McWilliams is going to drop back and try to find Zipper too high. Zipper was on a slant over the middle, and Ski McWilliams got a little nervous and let it go a little too quick. And
he let him a little bit too much and a little bit high as well. I mean, 3rd and 10 here. I mean, I don't think you want to punt from your 30, so I think they're going to go for it on 4th and 10. Well, it was 3rd and 10. Now it's 4th and 10.
Beautiful pass in play set up there, just too high.
The scoreboard still says 3rd and 10, but it's 4th and 10. Too close to punt and too long for a field goal.
McWilliams has had some time tonight on those pass plays.
So 4th and 10 here, big play for Lakeland.
Offense shifts. They thought they were the receivers on the left side. They come to this near side, the Dreadnaught sideline. McWilliams is going to roll out left side, and look, he's going to throw it deep, and it's going to be picked off.
That's actually good. He intercepted it.
That's not bad.
Instead of having the ball at the 30-yard line, they're going to have it at the 1-yard line. That's like a punt, a pooch punt, if you will.
Yeah.
So that actually worked out great for the Dreadnaughts.
So it'll be 1st down and 10. You still want to obviously pick up the 1st down and continue your offense and try to score. As we said last week, every possession matters in these deep playoff games. You don't get many shots. You have to make them count.
Just got a text from former Dreadnaught Chase Madden. He's watching the game tonight with his cousin George Madden, and along with Willie Baker and Zach Federler. Glad you guys are watching the game.
All right. You guys are settled in and watching your
So actually, I thought they were going to get the ball at the 1, but they're going to mark at the 3-yard line for the Eagles.
Good opportunity for the Dreadnaught defense to pin their ears back and just go after Harvey, and they're going to flood that right side, and they got him in the end. Oh, he barely gets out. That's
close to a safety because they actually, I think, hit him.
Oh, my
word. Once again, Lloyd Summerall having a monster game.
That was crazy.
Lost of 2, though, so that's a sack.
Yeah, now the ball's back to the one where we thought it should have been.
There was somebody else who helped Summerall on that tackle. I think it may have been Huntley, but Summerall is having a monster first half, Tim.
Harvey and Connolly back there with him. Now they're in a little bit of a trouble. The Lakeland defense coming. And here they go. Harvey again trying to find a little bit of seam. The ball's out and is way out. I mean, that ball came flying up still.
I think Edgewater got it
Edgewater
back.
got it and actually advanced the ball about 7 yards.
Wow, what a break for Edgewater. I know that they recovered, but they didn't
advance. It was just the ball where they recovered, so it's not. They didn't advance the ball.
Unbelievable.
Recovered at the 8-yard line.
I mean, that's a huge break for Edgewater.
I gotta say so.
Instead of the ball at the 2-yard line, or Lakeland getting the ball, they had the ball at the 8-yard line. Big play. Be 3rd and 5.
That was the best play they could have had. They were going to lose yardage again, and Harvey would have been near the goal line, but they fumbled and got a little bit of space out 5-6 yards, and they're going to pick up a 1st down. Wow.
That's Kobe Stripling, their top receiver, with the second, 3rd down conversion of the night. Very frustrating.
Well, the break's definitely going the Eagles' way. We've had a couple crazy little illegal touching penalty, one that we haven't seen all season.
Their fortuitous fumble.
Gives them better field position, a little bit of room to work with. Fresh set of downs now, 1st and 10. As Connolly gets the carry right at the line, the Dreadnaught defensive line just stingy as all get out right now.
Jason Hampton on the tackle for the Dreadnaughts.
Our linebackers do the same thing, step in those gaps.
Connolly has found very tough sledding tonight against this Dreadnaught front 7. Hampton's had a really nice game so far for Lakeland.
No gain, 2nd down, 10, 9:23 left here in this first half. Drop back Harvey, looking deep, now have to run. He takes off quick. I like how he decisively makes quick decisions.
He's fast.
Yeah, he does not wait. I mean, if he doesn't see a receiver open, he takes off like fast.
So I think he needs to be a couple yards short of the 1st down. Yeah, he's going to be 3rd and about 2 or 3 here. 3rd and 2. As they have to get to the 25-yard line. It's spotted right on the 23-yard line.
Conley gets the ball. He's strung out.
He's down.
He's going to go for a loss.
Loss about 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 4th and 4.
Bit of a surprise call, to be honest with you.
Yeah. On 3rd and 2, you want to think they try to go out wide like that. Actually, that's a loss of 3 as they're going to spot it back at the 20-yard line. So that's going to be 4th and 5. So they're going to have to punt. No way they're going to go for it. They're on 20, I wouldn't think.
Hopefully just some cramps by that big number 99 or 98 down there on the field, Trey Huntley.
Is that 98? I can't tell.
I see 99 walking back this way, so I know it started with a 9, and it's one of the big men, so I think it's Trey.
Or it could be 96 to Trilogy. Either way, that would be a big loss if he's actually hurt. Like you said, hopefully it's just cramps. So 9:04 to go in the second quarter. 6-0 Lakeland. And he's fine. As he's running off the field there. Haven't heard too much from Khalil Crawford tonight, number 44. I'm sure we'll call his name soon enough. You see Coach Bull Dini there. Always wears shorts, doesn't matter if it's cold, hot, whatever the case might be.
So a couple nice stops by the Dreadnaught defense after some breaks for the Eagles, but they've been unable to capitalize.
See Finley Graham and Chris Howard back, as they always are, to receive punts.
Their punters boomed a few as well. Joseph, it's got a good leg on it, but it was an end-over-end type. Howard still able to get the ball. Makes a nice cutback. Howard at the 50 and still running. And
good job by Howard going north and south.
Yeah.
Not dance around too much. Once again, we'll start the ball for the 3rd time tonight in Eagle territory at the 47-yard line.
Got to make some of these count, Jeff, especially.
Yeah, we got
now.
one touchdown the first time. Then we were not able to capitalize the second time due to that illegal touching penalty.
The Eagles get the ball here first in the second half, too, remember.
It'd be nice to get some more points. This first half's kind of flying by. Want to give a shout-out to Coach Bull Dini's grandsons who are watching tonight up in Andover, Mass. Chance and Colton Zuccaro. Glad you guys are watching. And we love your grandfather just like you do. He does a great job as the defensive coordinator here at Lakeland.
First down and a fresh set of downs for the Dreadnaught offense. 8:51 to work with here in the second quarter. Handoff to Bowman. Bowman breaks one tackle, gets a bit of a face mask, but didn't grab it, so they didn't call it.
Able to break a tackle there and gets about 5 yards. That's a nice first down run there by Bowman.
Well, we saw how it took Bowman the first half really to get his legs kind of under him, get some momentum going, and get ahead of steam, and maybe that's what will happen in this game as well. He's starting to assert himself a little bit more. He's got that strength to break tackles, and he's doing so now on a nice first down 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
I see some coaches down the sideline. I think I see Rick Darlington, the Apopka coach, down there. I can't tell if it's him. It looks like it's him.
Darlington, a little huddle down there as well as Steve McWilliams keeps the ball to the left side. He's only going to get a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
So bring him 3rd and about 4 now.
I'd like to remind you that sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The FHSAA reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message is provided by this webcast and the FHSAA. 3rd and 4. Steve McWilliams. Debo gets the carry. Straight up the gut, hard running, but he's going to be short of the first down by about a yard and a half.
Going to be
so decision time for
4th and less than 2. Coach Baylor signaling, put the hammer, bring the hammer out. They're going for it.
It's been hard to stop.
We'll call it 4th and 1. It might be 1.5.
It's one of those, Jeff. They know what's coming, but can you stop it still? The stacked right side of the line. Jahari Martin's going to blow through, and I think he got it.
Yeah, he got it. Oh, yeah, he got down to the 35-yard line. He just had to get to about the 37, so great job by Jahari Martin.
It's literally
first down for the Dreadnaught.
You just pray you don't trip behind the big offensive lineman, but you just literally crunching behind them and just keep your legs moving until you hit the ground.
Kind of give them a taste of their own medicine there. Going for it on 4th down and converting.
Yeah, there's no turning back. You got to give it your all in these games. You can't be subtle. Good job of picking up that, giving Dreadnaughts 4 more downs to work with. West goes out way,
West
single
got
man
single coverage out there.
Yeah, looks enticing as there's a fumble on the play, and it's going to be recovered. Why did the Dreadnaughts give up on that ball? The ball was still loose.
A high snap there, and Skemet Williams couldn't quite bring it down, and then, yeah, the ball was on the ground. It looked like no Dreadnaught was diving for it.
The ball was still moving around, and no one was. That's crazy.
That's unbelievable. So, while ago, Eagles fumble at their own 2-yard line, and they get a break by it falls out to the 8-yard line. And they recover it, and then here we fumble, and we didn't make a great effort to recover it. So, I mean, first turnover of the night goes to Lakeland, and I don't know. It's
frustrating. We just haven't been able to convert anything with the great field position we've had. And now our defense is getting a workout. We want to keep them off the field a little bit as the quarterback is going to be spun around. We try to get the ball out,
there.
But nearly had it.
There's Khalil Crawford in the tackle.
Latrell Jean was trying his hardest to get that ball loose, and he just couldn't get it from Harvey's hands. No gain, though. 2nd down 10. Conley goes in motion, and the whistles blow before they get the play going.
A timeout called by Eagles before the ball was snapped.
Well, that'll give us a brief chance to take a quick timeout here as you're watching the 2018 FHSA Football State Semifinal on the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
You know, Tim, as you see the offensive line there looking at film, I hate to say that it looks like the Eagles wanted the ball more, but it kind of did.
It definitely did. They just kind of gave up. They said, "Oh, we lost it," but the ball wasn't even close to in their possession.
Yeah, you got
yet.
to fight for that.
Hopefully they're getting a little talking to there as now 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Harvey, the quarterback, standing 4 yards deep, trying to do a hard snap count. Didn't work. He's going to come up under his center. Now he steps back after checking off. Dreadnaught defense calling for a little crowd participation. And Harvey gets the ball rolling out deep. He's looking, rolling to the right side, getting pressure, number 11 all over him. And throwing.
What a throwing catch.
What a beautiful throw on the run. Number 13 still on his feet outside the 25-yard line. That's a beautiful
Tommy Hill, the biggest play of the night on offense for the Eagles. What a beautiful throw, rolling out to his right under pressure.
Summerall
and just
was
put the
all
ball
over
on the
him.
money.
Yeah. That shows you his capability, as we talked about, that threat of getting outside the pocket. And, of course, can either take off and run or do that beautiful throw as we enter the 2nd quarter water break. Tonight's game, of course, is sponsored by the 2018 FHSA Class 7A Football Championship. It's an organization with a membership of more than 800 schools committed to Florida student athletes. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork. Yeah, they're talking about Aunt Tia's cupcakes she brings here up in the press box, which everyone's not
you have
looking.
One tonight?
I didn't have one.
So good. Strawberry cupcakes with strawberry icing, delicious.
I'm sure they're gone.
Actually, sometimes they still have some at halftime. I also want to give another thank you to our sponsor tonight for the webcast, the B&L Tires. I'll be interviewing Tara Felton from B&L at halftime tonight. You know, Tim, I agree with you. When you kind of have great field position throughout the first half and you're only up 6-0, not good. You got to take advantage of good field position.
Harvey now with fresh set of downs deep into Dreadnaught territory. Connolly picking his way down inside the 20 to the 19. A nice
6
6-yard
yards
gain.
for Isaiah Connolly, probably
one of his better runs.
Probably his best run of the night.
Well, those big gains ignite your offense, and they give you a little extra momentum and deflate the defense a little bit. So working quickly here Harvey and company. Connolly again getting the call, pushing the pile a few yards. See where they mark his knee down, but he definitely picked up a couple. 3rd down and short. And again, Harvey quickly up to his offensive line underneath center. He's going to just dive forward for the first down himself off the left tackle. Just actually between the center and the guard that time. He just plowed his way through.
Eagles in the red zone for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 at the Dreadnaught 13-yard line.
Jeff talked about this no-huddle kind of fast-paced offense. Harvey's going to go all the way to the outside and make a cut somehow and dance down the sidelines. How in the world?
I thought they had him dead to rights behind the line of scrimmage. They were stringing him out, and somehow he just kind of sliced and diced through there. And he gets down to the... Can't tell if it's a first down or not. Yep, first down, 1st and goal now for the Eagles.
Seemingly everyone had a blocker, but no one had the ball carrier, Harvey, as he got the corner. And they're right there knocking on the door. That time the Dreadnaught defense just plugged some gaps. Connolly with no gain.
Jason Hampton, along with Trey Huntley, made the tackle there of Isaiah Connolly.
Keon Zipper and Kevis Dyer check in to give a little more beef up there on the line. Hampton checks out. Tayshawn Nixon also comes out of the game. Harvey spreading the field, and I think he's going to take it himself. Now he does a sweep to Stribling. Stribling on the corner, gets it. Touchdown, Edgewater.
There was that speed for Edgewater as he was able to take the jet sweep and get to the pylon untouched. So they're an extra point away from taking the lead, Tim. Of the first half that we have. Yeah, after a first half here, Tim, that have seen Lakeland have the ball in great field position on the Edgewater half of the field, but as you said, we've been unable to capitalize for the most part. And their extra point is up and good, so 7-6, Edgewater has the first lead of the game with 4 minutes to go. And Tim, with Edgewater getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter, Lakeland needs to make something happen on this drive here.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 4 minutes left, and it's plenty of time. But they have squandered some opportunities, and Eagles have had a few breaks and just kind of hung in there. And now they get this big 25, 30-yard pass play in the middle of the field, which gives them a spark. And then they just, no huddle offense, took it to the Knott defense and just punched it in. So nothing fancy. I think just quick play and executing what they know they can do.
You've had 3 turning points in this first half. The illegal touching penalty, which took away a 23-yard gain when we had a chance to maybe go up by 2 scores. Then you had their fumble, which they recovered deep in their territory. They had our fumble, which we did not recover, and then they just drove down and took the lead 7-6. So those are 3 big plays here so far. A little pooch kick here.
Make sure you secure that ball. It's actually returnable. Gets a couple yards on the return, maybe 3 yards.
So good field position to get about the 33-yard line. Every time I look up and see the B&L Tires logo, I think there's a flag.
That's where some of our...
As we see Tara Felton, the representative from B&L Tires, has made her way up here in the press box. We'll be interviewing her at the beginning of halftime. I want to give a quick shout out to my parents watching tonight. Mom and Dad, hope you're enjoying the game, along with my brother Jason.
Some of our players need to step it up here. Our star players, we've had chances. A couple overthrown balls by Ski McWilliams. Just needs to settle down and hit his targets. Drops back. I like it. He's got a man wide open. Guns it. It's going to be a little short, though. I mean, number 14, Deshaun Graham, was 5 yards clear of the defender, and unfortunately McWilliams on the run couldn't throw it that far. That's a hard throw when you're running.
Yeah, I think it's a hard throw to make that far down the field when you're on the run. But also, I think he maybe held on to it for a little bit too long. If he'd been able to throw a little bit quicker, they might have also been able to complete the pass.
Boy, I mean, that was a beautiful just fly route by Deshaun Graham. Maybe not he would expect. Number 14 was wide open there. Missed opportunity. Not second down and 10. Hand off to Bowman. Bowman's going to maybe
First
get the
big play
outside.
tonight for DeMarcus Bowman.
50-40. Bowman pushed out of bounds. Number 5 again is doing a great job on the exterior of really containing Bowman, or else
Pushed out of bounds by Kyan Graham.
Graham's really
Bowman
stopped a couple potential touchdowns
tried to
tonight.
walk the sideline there, but couldn't quite do it. He beat him to the corner, but he was able to get his hand on him and push him out of bounds. If he had a little bit more real estate, I think he could have took it the distance. But nonetheless, that's about 36-yard gain, the biggest of the night.
Definite motivators, too, for your offense when you get chunks like that now already into the Eagle territory.
Excuse me, that's a 31-yard gain for DeMarcus Bowman.
Those can be good momentum shifters.
Play clock is under 7.
And Bowman both back there. It is going to be Bowman who follows blocker. Bowman out in front. Bowman to the 20, 10. Bowman's going to score. You can't hold him back. You can't contain him.
On the play.
DeMarcus Bowman straight up the gut, not on a great handoff either, just kind of muscled his way through the defensive line.
Back-to-back 30-plus yard runs, a 31-yard and then a 36-yard touchdown right in the middle for DeMarcus Bowman. So there's the answer for the Dreadnaughts.
Man, there's just something about feeding him. He thrives on just beating the defenses. So he has got some.
I think Lakeland's going to go for 2, maybe. I think Coach Castle wants to try to get back up by 7.
He's just got an extra power gear.
I don't know, it's awfully early in the game here to go for 2. I think I might rather see him just kick it.
They're going to try it, though. It appears they're going to try it. Up 5 right now. The Dreadnaughts on a couple big runs by Bowman. Coach Castle's going to call a timeout. The ref finally sees it there just as the play's about to get going.
I want to make a comment about that last handoff there. As you mentioned, it kind of looked like it was a little bit of a struggle almost. That's 2 or 3 times, 4 times tonight we've seen that. And at some point that could lead to a fumbled exchange. It's been a couple of times. I don't know if he's trying to leave it in there extra long to see if he's going to pull it or leave it with Bowman, but that's scaring me a little bit. And a couple of times I think it was caused by a little bit of a high snap, which of course that's what caused the fumble on the last possession. But on that time, it wasn't a bad snap at all. But that's something their timing's just slightly off.
Well, there is a play, obviously, where you fake, you put it in the halfback or the running back's gut and kind of pull it back and run. But that looked a little different, like you said. That was more of a confusion. The timing wasn't clean. And
even if you are doing the zone read there, you got to make a decision a little quicker than that. You can't wait for him to make that decision, because if you do, it could definitely lead to a fumble and exchange.
So we had 4 minutes at the start of this drive, only running off.
Yeah, we might have scored too quickly. Now we're going to give them a chance.
32 seconds here, but Coach Castle's going to seemingly go for 2 with 3:28 left. Ski McWilliams under center. He's going to hand off, and it looks to be good. 2-point conversion is
Jahari
good.
Martin, that's the power package.
Yeah, he's something else.
And he dropped the hammer on Edgewater. So we got that missed extra point back. Lakeland up by a full touchdown, their biggest lead of the night at 14-7.
There he is.
I feel a lot better, Tim. I was getting had a bad feeling in my stomach when we were down 7-6 after the way the first half had developed, but that's a championship level answer right there if you're Lakeland.
That was a very assertive
Championship
answer
drive.
at that. And that's the smash mouth. Just here, we'll give you a little taste of what we got. And haven't given it to him yet. Another update, second quarter. St. Thomas 14, Venice 3. So Venice at least gets on the board, 14-3. So a little glimmer of hope for Venice.
What's
only
the
down
score now?
14-3.
Okay.
So they got a couple points on there anyways.
14-7, 14-3. Both scores, both games have similar scores right now.
Jace Hohenthaler set to kick it off after the touchdown and 2-point conversion by the Knots. Ooh, good special teams defense right there as the
Great
Dreadnaughts
special teams.
crush the return man. Doesn't even get near the 20.
We haven't had, in terms of our first key of the game, playing a clean game. Obviously, we had the one very costly turnover, but in the penalty department, obviously we had the killer penalty on the illegal touching. But for the most part, only a couple penalties in the first half, and no unsportsmanlike conducts or anything like that. And that's one of those ones that's, I guess you call that illegal touching thing. That's kind of like a careless one. You got to be careful you don't run out of bounds. Nothing that's like just don't, a bonehead play. Just kind of a careless thing. He just, I think, barely stepped out of bounds, and that came back to haunt us.
So the Eagles do have 3:22 to work with, down 7 now. After the nice answer from the Dreadnaught offense. Dreadnaught defense played
Watch
well.
out,
They're
that's a
looking
play.
for the
Misdirection play.
But who didn't get fooled, and number 11, Summerall, just having a great game, stayed his ground.
The flag. I may have spoke too soon. I think it's going to be a penalty against one of the teams for extracurricular activity.
Christian, it's against the Knots. Christian Leary was strung out, but Dreadnaught with a
sure against
fantastic
Lakeland
play.
you saw the
Yeah.
point that direction? Oh, a face mask, but only the 5-yard variety, so that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be, the flag came so late, I thought it was going to be like a late hit or, unsportsmanlike conduct, but a face mask, but not
It's
a
one of those that
personal
obviously
foul
didn't have
variety.
anything to do with the play either. He was out of bounds. I mean, he just touched his face mask probably. That's probably why they only called the 5-yarder. And that is what they did, so.
So there actually was a loss on the play, but then the 5-yard penalty is going to make it second and about 7 or 8, I think.
Harvey does a little kind of funky delay, fakes the handoff to Leary around the inside, and then goes to Connolly straight up the middle.
Lakeland's defense is down in tonight, Tim.
Yeah,
They've
they're
looked
playing
great.
good. Yeah.
I mean, a team that's as hot as Edgewater has been. They're averaging like 47 or so points a game in the playoffs, and they've held them to 7 here with 2:52 to go in the first half.
They're asking for a timeout.
Timeout for the Dreadnaughts.
Yeah, defensive coaches did not like what they saw down there. It's their final timeout of the first half. Comes to the 2:44 mark. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout as you're watching the 2018 FHSA Football State Semifinal on the Lakeland Football Webcast.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Back up here in the press box, Bryant Stadium. Toughly contested first half thus far. 2:44 remaining, second and 7 on that penalty. The first down went over, so they actually got a nut down, but they're going to lose. Connolly's going to go backwards. Swarming defense by the Dreadnaughts, and that is fantastic play in the interior by the Knot D. So it would have been 4th and 7, Jeff, but because of the penalty, they got the first down over again. Now it's 3rd and 11 after the 4-yard loss. So 3rd and 11. But the Dreadnaught D.
The Lakeland front 7 is living in the Eagles' backfield tonight.
They're playing extremely well thus far.
Watch out for the quarterback draw here.
Harvey looking, trying to escape runners, and he's
They
not
got
going to
him.
do it. They're going to bring him down. It'll be 4th down. Still decent time on the clock. We don't have a timeout, unfortunately. This would be a good time if we had a timeout remaining, but
Keon Zipper, the
Hey,
tight end
all
playing
right,
defense,
Keon.
got the sack. How about that?
number 9. Shows you he's athletic on both sides of the ball. 2-yard
Lakeland's
loss.
going to get the ball back with more than a minute to go. We'll see if Lakeland can get some more points. Up 7 in the late stages of the second quarter.
Number 99 late to check in. Dindy gets to the line. Let's see if they go after the ball. Jason Hampton's on the outside. Good snap. Oh, and it's blocked. The Dreadnaughts, the ball's on the ground, just covered up, guys. Dreadnaught ball, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been Dreadnaught ball anyways, down inside the 5.
Zipper recovers the block punt.
That's huge. That is enormous,
Our
folks.
good friend Keith Cornett just texted me all ago, we need a turnover. A block punt's not quite a turnover, we'll take it. It works just as good.
That's beautiful, beautiful rush. I mean, the whole team just on the count drove the line of the Eagles backwards and into, in essence, the kicker. We had 2 or 3 defenders there for the Dreadnaughts all over the punt. First down and goal from the 3, and we have the power
that's the
package
fourth
in.
momentum-changing play of the first half, and the first one that goes in our direction.
So this game could turn around in a hurry right now, as just driving, and I think we got in. Let's see if they call it. Yes, touchdown, Dreadnaughts. That away. Ball broke the plane. That's all that needs to happen. That's huge before this end of the first half. Dreadnaughts putting up
That's the hammer package.
2 scores.
Making another big play for the Dreadnaught offense. Jahari Martin, his second touchdown of the night.
Well, that's been effective.
It's his second, I think, and he had the 2-point conversion.
Yep. No doubt about it. I'll let you do that, Jeff.
Lakeland going to kick the extra point this time.
See if we can convert this one. That looks to be a better snap. Up and down.
Right
it is through.
Down Broadway.
There we go. How huge is that? 2 scores after the Eagles took the lead 7-6. The Dreadnaughts come back and put
They
on
answer
14
with
or
a great
15
drive,
points.
featuring 2 big DeMarcus Bowman runs, and then the block punt. And the defense is playing lights out tonight, Tim, just lights out. And we talked about it during the pregame show, we're a little worried about the pass defense, but I mean, they've had one big pass play, but that was really not bad coverage. That was just a heck of a throw, by Harvey. So gotta give not only the front 7, but the entire defense credit for tonight. I misspoke. I said that was Jahari Martin's second touchdown tonight. Actually, DeMarcus Bowman has 2 touchdowns. So that was Martin's first touchdown, but Martin also had the 2-point conversion. So both of them getting the job done tonight on the ground.
Well, how fast can DeMarcus Bowman change a game around? He just really switched that momentum, just like a wrecking ball coming in.
Back-to-back big runs, yep.
A worm burner. On a one hopper. They caught it at the
catch by
23-yard line.
Edgewater.
Number 13.
That's
He's
13,
a good
Tommy
runner.
Hall.
Watch him get to the outside. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Still on his feet. Number 13. Just push him out of bounds. They're going to get him, but not after a huge run back. What a weird setup.
You try to avoid a big play on a kick return by doing a squib kick, and it backfires.
Well, it's just, I think you go with your normal coverage. It's a type of setup where it just throws you off, and
I mean, Jace has a pretty good leg. Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt us there, maybe.
Yeah, I think you just
But it's
booted
still,
away.
there's only 54 seconds. They have no timeouts, by the way, so they're going to have to do some work here. I mean, they're. Oh no, Finley Graham has got a leg injury.
Well, there's 2 men down. There's number 44 for the Eagles is down on the field.
Are you sure that's number 44? That's their big defensive end. Wow.
That's Nathan White.
That's a major development. And Finley Graham as well. I think Finley Graham looks like has cramps. They're stretching him out. So the 8th block punt of the year for Lakeland, setting a new Dreadnaught record.
Oh, it doesn't seem like that. That's great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we've had 8 block punts.
Let's see, they're getting.
Maybe some have been on the road. We missed the road game.
Well, it is Nathan White, but he's up on his own.
And I think he could have cramps as well, or maybe some kind of an ankle injury. He's kind of walking gingerly, but doesn't appear to be hurt too bad. So it looks like Finley Graham's going to be okay. So he's getting stretched out for a cramp. But right now, Finley Graham, a starting cornerback, is not in the field. So we'll have to see if Edgewater tries to take advantage of that. So they have the ball at the Lakeland 28-yard line, 1st and 10, with only 54 seconds to go and no timeouts.
So let's see what they come up with here after the great run back. This could be big for the Dreadnaught defense as Harvey set. He's going to keep it
draw.
And has a lot of room. Harvey gets down inside the 10, and no one's going to get him touchdown just like that. That's why that return was so dangerous.
So now each team has had a touchdown set up by a special teams return. Finley Graham punt return for the Dreadnaughts, and then that kickoff return by Tommy Hall of the
Yeah, that was just a
Eagles.
mistake not kicking that deep. You know, one of those things where I don't know why he tried to. Maybe he just miskicked it, and maybe he was supposed to kick it deep, but
I don't know. But still, that was actually a great catch by Tommy Hall. It was kind of like a sidewinder, and he could have easily bobbled that or muffed that. I mean, it was actually a great, it was kind of like a, well, almost blocked, but the extra point's going to be up and good. So 21-14, your new score. Chris Howard almost had the blocker. No, Tayshawn Nixon, I think it
Tayshawn
was.
Nixon, yeah. Just a quick shout out to Coach Don Bright, who's going for some hip replacement surgery on Monday, December 3rd. Donnie, just thoughts with you. Hope that goes well, and you're back up running marathons shortly. No.
That was kind of like a, if you're playing third base and you got a screamer coming at you, that's kind of what that was. But Hall made a great catch there for the Eagles on the. A lot of times you see those squib kicks, they just take a knee, but he said, hey, I have a chance to make a play. I got speed, and he made a big play for the Eagles.
That's disappointing. You know, again, Edgewater is going to get the ball first in the second half. All the defenses played well. We've had a few breakdowns, and that special teams was we've been excellent on special teams, but that was huge to give him field possession down inside the 30 with just under a minute to go. You could see the talent of Harvey, too. He wasn't going to be denied. We had some defenders that had a shot at getting him down with no timeouts, but he fought through it. And so the Eagles just go down. Good grief. Another little bit of a mistake there by the Knott's return man.
I would say you just take a knee, but when you got DeMarcus Bowman, might as well give him a carry or two, see if he can break a long one. I certainly went past the ball from down there at this point.
40 seconds left, obviously.
Take over, first down and 10 from their own 13-yard line.
Never know, Coach Castle.
A lot of big plays in this first half. Momentum turning plays by both teams.
Castle may take a shot at things, just hard to say. He's going to do kind of a draw play straight up the middle, giving Bowman a chance with no timeouts.
So we had one timeout left.
Nope, I think we're out of timeouts.
Tackled by Eric Doctor.
So first down there, so the clock stops for a second.
See Bowman clapping though. He's just like, ugh. I mean, I think he just loves beating people. He loves breaking tackles. I mean, he like feeds off it. So on the first down, the clock temporarily stops, but is moving again here. Under 30 seconds to go. As drop back again, Bowman. Bowman has some room and just fighting his way for another first down, but really doesn't matter, as that will probably be the last play.
Well, you can clock the ball here.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you're out far enough. You could throw a Hail Mary if you want to.
I'm going to take a shot with them. No timeouts. It's hard to say as Keon Zipper checks in the ball game. Clock back moving again. 10 seconds.
I guess we're not going to clock the ball.
We don't look too eager to I don't know. Ski McWilliams dropping back is going to throw the ball. Has a man, Howard, catches it, and out
no
of time.
left on the clock.
Oh, man, unfortunate.
That's where you wish you had one time. Oh, it's a flag. Oh, there's a flag on the play. A flag, the half can in a defensive penalty. Let's see who that's on. But the question is, if you decline the penalty, do you still get one more play, or do you have to accept the penalty to get one more play? I'm not sure about that.
Beautiful concentration by Howard.
It's against us, I think. They're holding against Lakeland. Decline, and that would be the last play of the first half.
The penalty was declined, which brings us to the end of the first half. With the score of the Lakeland Dreadnaughts 21.
So with the penalty decline, you still get the stat for the nice reception, but
I guess you would, yeah. So that will count. So, Tim, I mean, we were down 7-6. We kind of were discouraged, and then we're kind of high at 21-7. Now we're kind of a little empty feeling again. We gave him that late touchdown.
Iffy feeling there.
I mean, I'll take being up 7, but I'd rather be up 14. So the Harry Seafood halftime show is underway here. We'll watch some of the Anchorettes performance, and then I'll have my first interview with Tara Felton of B&L Tires, and then I'll have another interview with the FCA Huddle sponsor for Lakeland High School, and then Tim Connie will have an interview with Fred Lopez recapping the first half.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's gonna like this. It's not gonna be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Hey, Judah, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're gonna handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for one person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
All right, back with you here at Bryant Stadium. Your halftime score: Lakeland 21 and Edgewater 14. So we're getting the Harry's Seafood halftime show kicked off. We're joined by Tara Felton of B&L Tires. Tara, thanks for being with us tonight.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks for having us.
And thank you guys very much for sponsoring the webcast tonight.
Oh, not a problem. We are grateful that we were able to.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about the history of B&L Tires. How long has it been around? And I know it's a family-owned business. Tell us a little bit about the family as well who owns B&L Tires.
All right. Well, it would originally started in 1957.
Oh, wow.
Back from Bronowski and Langdale started the company. And then in 1961, Warren Crawford, which is Chris Crawford's father, started working for them. And then in 1972, Warren actually bought the company from them. And about 10 years ago, Chris started buying the company out from his dad.
So Chris is now the owner?
Chris is now the owner, yes, sir.
We were just discussing off air a while ago. I played Little League Baseball against Chris Crawford.
Yes, sir.
Many moons ago. I mean, he had a powerful fastball. Man, he could really throw. He could really hum it in there.
Yeah, I've heard stories about it.
I'm afraid to admit I once or twice may have closed my eyes and swung at Chris's fastball. But anyway, so tell us a bit more about B&L Tires. What obviously tires, but tell us a bit more about your business and what all products and services you offer.
Well, we offer new tires, used tires. We do rotation, flat repairs, repairing the tire properly from the inside. We do alignments as well. And anytime trailer tires, agriculture tires, lawn and garden. So we have a variety.
And you guys just focus on tires, right? You don't do oil changes or other automotive repairs?
No, sir, not at all.
Yeah. So tell us a little about what makes you different than if someone here is watching the webcast tonight and they need some new tires, why should they come to B&L Tires other than the fact you're sponsoring the webcast, but in terms of what advantages they're going to get when they come to see you guys at B&L Tire?
Well, we focus on our customers. We try to make sure we meet all of our customers' needs. We respect our customers' time, so we try to get you in and out there as quickly as possible. We do a set of 4 tires within about an hour on average.
Wow.
And our customer service is what really, to me, stands out.
And price-wise, how competitive are you on price?
We're competitive with the pricing, yes, sir. We're pretty competitive.
Very good. And where are you guys located at?
We're on U.S. Highway 98 South, just south of Cumbia, north of the Polk Parkway, right there on the right-hand side.
So do you guys get a lot of business from Bartow as well, or primarily Lakeland? Or?
Bartow, Winter Haven. We have people down from the village, all the way down to Fort Myers, Fort Meade.
So you guys have a big following for sure.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know both my brothers have bought tires from you guys. I know they sing your praises very well. So
we appreciate that. Yeah,
next time I need tires, I'll have to come check you guys out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We would appreciate that.
So any other community involvement that you guys have besides obviously sponsoring the webcast tonight?
Well, we also do a lot of youth sports for boys and girls for different schools and just like the local community, like at East Lakeland, and where you and Chris used to play as well.
Perfect. That's awesome. Youth sports is a great thing in the community, very important.
Yes, sir. And
what is your role at B&L Tires, Tara?
I am the office manager.
Office manager.
Yes, sir.
So if one of our loyal listeners for the webcast needs some tires, they can come in and ask for you?
Yes, sir, definitely. I'm there Monday through Friday. We're open 8 to 5.
And you guys are closed Saturday or open Saturday?
We're closed on Saturdays and Sundays. We believe that's family time.
Absolutely. It's great to have that work-life balance. I support that. That's awesome. And what's the phone number at B&L Tires?
Phone number is 863-665-1617.
So you just heard it from Tara, the office manager, 863-665-1617. If you need tires and you live anywhere in the Polk County or surrounding area, please give the fine folks at B&L Tires a call, and they will get you all set up with new tires. Tara, thanks again. Michael Barrett, our producer for the webcast, I think is also a customer.
Yes,
said
sir.
You guys are the best. So
we appreciate it.
All right, so thanks for being our guest tonight.
Oh, not a problem. Thanks for having us.
Tell Chris we said hi.
Yes, sir, definitely will.
All right, we'll take a short break, and we'll be back with another interview with Caleb Konecki, the FCA huddle leader at Lakeland High School.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
All right, we're back with you at Bryan Stadium as the Harry Seafood halftime show rolls on. And I'm joined by Caleb Konecki with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. How you doing, Caleb?
Doing really well.
So I first met Caleb several years ago when you played college basketball at Southeastern, and now you're on staff with FCA. We just talked about the fact that it's your second year involved in Lakeland. You were an intern last year, now you're on staff. Talk a little bit about FCA as a whole, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what you do at Lakeland specifically.
Totally, yeah. So what I do is FCA is an on-campus sports ministry, and so our whole goal is to reach students and coaches with the gospel. And so it's a broad ministry, but it's targeted towards athletes and then on-campus students in the high schools, middle schools, and elementaries.
And so you're the huddle coach at Lakeland High School. Now, do you just do stuff with athletes and teams, or do you do stuff with the student body as a whole?
Yeah, I do things with the student body as well. And every single Friday, at Lakeland High School in the gym. We'll meet, and it'll be during A and B lunch, and I'll preach like a 10-minute message, and students will come out. That's open to anybody that goes to Lakeland High School, and just really an opportunity for students to be encouraged and uplifted for 10, 15 minutes, and then the bell will ring, then they'll go on to their class.
So you do two separate of those, or in between you can do everybody at the same time, or you do one A and one and B lunch?
One A lunch and one B lunch.
I gotcha. Okay. And so what do you do with any of the sports teams? I know you're at most of the football games. Do you do devotionals or Bible studies with any of the sports teams?
So Wednesday night, or the main night that I'm with the football team primarily, they'll have practice, then they'll go to study hall, and then they'll come outside the cafeteria, and then I'll either preach like a 15 or 20-minute message, or we'll bring in one of the top communicators in the city, so they get to hear from some of the best local pastors in the church, campus pastor at Southeastern University.
Sure.
Coach Barsh at Southeastern has come. All some of those kind of people come in and get to share with the football team.
And I think they feed them dinner on Wednesday night as well, right?
Yeah. So right after that, they get dinner, and then they're dismissed, and then some will come to church, with me at Grace City or whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of how the flow of Wednesday night looks like.
Excellent. And I think I know you mentioned today to me that you guys had about 10 guys at church with you a week or two ago.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we had a big night in youth, and I just developed some relationships with the guys on the field, and just really love anytime those guys come out to the church, and it's just encouraging to us, and just try to be a positive influence on their lives.
And does Lakeland still? I know for years they participated in a summer FCA camp. Does the football team still do that?
Yeah. So we do a Lakeland leadership camp, and this is all for all Central Florida, and it's at Southeastern University. And so my goal and one of the things I'm kind of really hoping for this summer is the entire Lakeland football team to go to that camp.
That'd be awesome.
And yeah, it'd been absolutely phenomenal. And so yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping for.
And so. Will you be working at all with your former college teammate Dwayne Johnson with the basketball team?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. As soon as football wraps up, I'm going to start, getting more involved with the basketball team. They're going to have a really good year this year, and really looking forward to, kind of transitioning over to basketball once we get a state championship.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have at least one more week of the football season.
Right.
So before we let you go, share some thoughts about the first half. Pretty exciting game. A lot of big plays by both teams.
Yeah, I thought the pump block was huge. I thought that was a total momentum changer by Jahari. I was really hoping we could have kept them at 21-7 going into halftime.
Yeah.
But
we had the momentum for a few minutes, and then boom, the kickoff return, they get it right back.
I know, that's one play will do that. And so we got to play sound defense, continue to run the ball, get Bowman out in space, and I really like our chances going forward.
They can only keep Bowman down for so long. You bust out with those back-to-back 30-plus yard runs there to take the lead.
Totally. I mean, you can only do so much with a guy that runs, a 10-4 speed in the 100. Just a special runner, special gifted runner, and really hoping for a big second half.
He's amazing. He's the complete package, the running back position, no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the best high school running backs, if not the best I've ever seen at the high school level.
I totally agree with that for sure. Well, Caleb, thanks for joining us on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. So we'll take another short commercial break, and then Tim Conti and Fred Lopez will recap the first half.
Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th Annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Hey, Judith, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Back up here in the press box with Fred Lopez to round out the Harry Seafood halftime show. A lot of information in a short time, Fred. We were gabbing over there, just enjoying it, and now get to do a little bit on camera. A lot going on, Fred Lopez, in this first half. Give us your assessment a little bit of kind of how the Naughts are doing, good, bad, ugly, what the Eagles are doing well.
Well, we're talking about two really good football teams playing in this first half. The first thing I wanted to say was there are 16 state championships between the four teams represented in the Final Four. Yeah. St. Thomas Aquinas has 9. We've got 6. Lakeland has 6. Venice has 1. And Edgewater's got 0. And they were 0-10 just 2 years ago. So they've come a long way to be in a big game tonight in a hostile environment here at Lakeland Dreadnought Football Stadium.
Big pedigree. They don't seem to be afraid to be here either. We talked a little bit about them traveling all this time, and they're here putting on a good show, and it's going to be a good one. We kind of talked about who's going to have the ball last or who on defense really can stop the team the next to the last or will be the winner, we think.
Exactly.
That's kind of how it's going. So,
well, this reminds me a lot of kind of like the Rams and the Chiefs game. It's going to come down to defense, but I think it's going to come down to two high-scoring offenses, and then whoever makes the best defensive play at the end is probably going to win the game. I came into this game analyzing it, and in my opinion, I think this was going to be a game that boiled down to defense and turnovers. Both offenses can score. What I was concerned about is can Lakeland hold their offense that's averaging 44 points a game, but some interesting statistics about our defense. We've given up 94 points all season long. We've held 10 opponents to 7 points or less. So if we can keep up that momentum and control turnovers, I think we've got the defense to pull off the victory, but it's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's going to be a nail-biter all the way.
Kind of what I felt. Now, they've allowed 194 points, so they've allowed almost 100 points more than the Naught defense.
Yep.
But still, like you said, they've put up a bunch per game, and obviously you saw the quarterback in this last series score and put points on the board in a hurry. So he's capable of doing that. So a lot of playmakers in this game, which is fun but nail-biting because things can turn on a dime at any time.
Absolutely. Well, interesting facts as well as our jumbo formation, or what we used to refer to years ago when I coached it was hammer, our hammer formation, which is basically goal line. Well, we've gone jumbo 2 times in the middle of the field and have gotten first downs both times. And then we've gotten jumbo on the line of scrimmage. One of them was after the block punt. Jahari Martin scored the touchdown, and then he got the 2-point conversion. So they can't stop our jumbo formation, which could prove to be key at the end of the game.
It's almost like it I don't know how it surprised them. It almost like shocks that defense. It's like they don't know what to do with it.
Well, you got 2 linebackers coming
at you.
You got 2 linebackers coming in off the bench that are already joining a big offensive line and power backs. It's just
where do you go?
Where do you go?
Yeah, and who has the ball?
And we're running the same plays. It just boils down to, can they stop what we got coming at them?
It's been fun to watch Jahari Martin, like you said, in a couple of those middle of the field packages. When he breaks free, he's kind of like, "Whoa, look at me! I'm out in the open, and I'm going to keep running." And he's picking up some good yards.
And they're athletic. I mean, I love our team. I like the position we're in. If we can calm down, not make too many mental mistakes, I think we could have more points on the board right now.
Yeah,
if we had, a couple of fumbles, some missed opportunities. But make no mistake about it, especially number 44 on their defense. He's a monster. They're very athletic. This is a good football team.
Yeah, and
Coach Duke has got them dialed in.
Line is playing well, too. Now, we never beat anyone up, but the kicking game, special teams is very important. A little lapse there at the end of the first half, perhaps.
Well, our kicker's on the field right now,
and
he's
what
working.
You said.
He's practicing his deep kicks.
I know you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, so he's probably got some big game jitters, but you got to listen. We don't expect a high school kicker to hit that big long field goal, but you got to make those extra points and you got to kick that ball deep.
Yeah, that's important. So, I went down to just go to the restroom real quick here, but I noticed, we talked about the crowd last week. What a fabulous crowd. We might have matched it this week. I mean, incredible atmosphere again.
Plant brought a big crowd, but I'll tell you what, Edgewater has matched them, and I think we've got a bigger home crowd tonight than we even did last week.
I think so. It was a little harder maneuvering through the crowd to get up here.
It's an exciting atmosphere, and I know that Edgewater's used to playing on the road, but not this type of atmosphere.
Yeah, I agree. And so after they've traveled here 4 weeks, next week, if they were to win, it'd almost be like a home game for them going back to Orlando.
Exactly.
So they're obviously trying to do that and be one of those teams that they can then call themselves elite. They have not broken through in a state championship yet, but fantastic progress in the last 2 years. Talk a little bit about how impressed you are with that coach. I mean, 2 years coming in, 21-4 record after being 0-10. That's something.
That's an amazing turnaround. I had a chance to YouTube the team and some of the players and some of their Orlando Sentinel, the news media stuff that was coming on this week. And The kids are very confident. They were acting like, hey, we're the underdogs. And anytime you take that underdog approach, that's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
I always like to pull. People like to pull for the underdog, and the underdog, they have nothing to lose. So we're basically the team to beat tonight.
Yeah, and it's a team that is very courageous in the sense that fourth downs, we'll go. Even on a punt play, we'll try a trick play.
That's it.
They're not afraid to pull that. And I think you almost need to have that kind of attitude when you come in here to Bryant Stadium.
I love Coach. We talked about this last week, you and I. Coach is yet to really. We done? Oh, we on? Here we go. Coach is yet to. Really. He's tried, but he's yet to really have some success with the play-action pass. So it'll be interesting to kind of catch them off guard when they're loading the box.
Well, that's why I've been impressed, Fred, with the offensive line. I think Skinny McWilliams has had some opportunities. He overshot a couple of them, but it just takes that pressure off Bowman, I think, when you get a couple plays 15, 20 yards downfield, and really keeps them honest.
I'd rather not see us go jumbo every time in the middle of the field. A little bit of play-action pass off of the run action, I think, is going to be key here in the third quarter.
Here we go, folks. The start of the third quarter, the second half underway in the state semifinal. 21-7, your score right now. Edgewater, of course, won the coin toss, so they have the ball first here in the second half. The 20-yard line, Harvey checks off, quarterback keeper left side, and the stingy defensive line continues their good play on that first down. No gain.
I love how stout we are on first down. We have been pretty stiff, and if we can keep them to a long third down, we got them right where we want them.
So impressed with Lloyd Summerall, too, this game. Number 11. He is, talk about a beast. He has been all over the field tonight, really disrupting Harvey.
They are an explosive offense. There's no doubt about it, but the defense is playing well.
There's some movement, and finally the flag comes. The Dreadnaughts stood up knowing that there was a flag to come before they actually threw the flag. Penalty against false start against the Eagles. They'll push them back 5 yards. Second down, 15. Yeah, I agree. You keep putting him in these long third down situations. It puts a lot of pressure on him. As I think Mr. Jeff Goddard has come back up from thank you, Fred Lopez, for all the great insight and the statistics. And
you got it.
We'll see what happens
here.
Go
nuts.
And hopefully join us maybe at the end of the game as Jeff's going to go down for some interviews as they toss it over the middle. Gus!
I'd love to
if
I'm here.
Play. Yeah.
Go Dreadnaughts. You know how I am at the end of the game.
I know, right?
Tradition.
Thanks, Fred. On a long third down. There we go. I can hear myself now again. 3rd and 15. Harvey's waiting, looking over to the sideline, asking Coach, should I run this play? Unsure, a little bit of uncertainty. The Dreadnaught defense maybe with an opportunity here to make a stop early. Harvey's going to drop back. Here comes Summerall getting double teamed off the right side. Lots of pressure. Harvey's going to escape and throw the ball, and it's going to be nearly picked off. Number 13, Stribling, tripped.
That's fortunate they didn't call a pass interference. I mean, he kind of fell down in front of him.
Yeah, I think.
And then the Lakeland stumbled over him. It looked kind of awkward there.
It's possible that the cornerback stepped on his foot and tripped him, is what I saw. But I don't think that was pass interference. Certainly not intentional. Stribling kind of tripped and then he fell over the top of him.
But nonetheless, I wouldn't have been shocked to see the yellow flag come on the field.
Didn't
so
put his hands on
there.
I really think it was he stepped on his
foot.
foot.
So big stop by the Dreadnaught defense here to start the second half.
Now we could have good field position. Nothing too fancy here, hopefully, for Finley, Graham, or Howard. Just secure the ball and maybe even into Eagle territory. And that would be great, in essence, flip-flopping.
I'll take another punt block.
We'll take that, too.
Or punt return.
There's a flag, maybe a substitution or delay a game penalty.
Against Edgewater. So that's going to move them back even deeper into their own territory. 4th and 20 from the 10-yard line.
Always makes me nervous, though, when you try for those blocks. Just make sure you get a piece of the ball before you run into the kicker.
Yep.
As the punter for it.
At this point, I mean, unless he uncorks a boomer, I mean, we're going to get great field position.
Yeah, Eagles, and he's going to probably get some pressure inside the goal line.
A little high there.
Snap, and he had
to get it off quickly.
He got it off quick and put it away out of bounds.
He's a little nervous after that block. And actually, he actually did us a favor. If he had actually kicked and not yanked his leg back. You see what he did?
Yeah,
He yanked his leg back like he was afraid.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done that, we might have ran into him. So, I mean, he actually did us a favor. Then he ended up shanking it, like you said, out of bounds.
My favorite animal, the shankopotamus, makes an appearance here in the state semifinal.
That's one of Tim's coined phrases, trademark phrases, shankopotamus. I think we're in his head right now, Tim.
That was the big one, yeah. He doesn't like getting punts blocked and not that feeling. So 20-yard line starting possession here for the Dreadnaughts in the second half.
That was a really bad shake.
Yeah, you got to make good on this, though. You've got to get some points out of this as Schemick Williams under center, handoff Bowman. Bowman stutter steps up the middle. Bowman!
Touchdown!
Scored! Dives in! Touchdown to Marcus Bowman on the first offensive play of the second half for the Knots. That's what we needed right there,
Tim, you called it a stutter step. That was a thing of beauty.
It was. He just cautiously kind of took a step, gave him some room, and look at him skipping off. He's like, yeah, baby. DeMarcus Bowman Debo skipping off. Enjoy for that nice little run on his first
Just
possession.
what the doctor ordered to start the second half if you're a Dreadnought fan.
That's how
Take
you
2
can
aspirin
change
and
a
call me in the
game.
morning.
Yeah.
3 and out. Give it to DeMarcus Bowman. Touchdown.
J-Ho to do his job here, just getting extra points through, and Howard with a good hold, just nice and easy down. That one looks beautiful. And there's a flag on the play, though, as I say that.
So the extra point is good, but we might have to re-kick it. Let's see who that flag is on. Might be offsides against Edgewater.
Then Coach Castle may decide to go for 2. We'll see. Yeah, interesting.
I think you take it. I wouldn't risk
Taking
only
off the
being
board.
down. Yeah, only being up 13. I'd keep it to no. Castle's going to do it. Castle can't pass this up. He cannot pass this up.
He's got confidence in that formation.
It's the hammer package. Let's see what happens here.
Fred was saying they refer to it as jumbo or hammer, but we know what we're talking about.
You definitely open yourself up to second guessing if you don't make this when you take a point off the board. But I mean, you gotta have confidence in this power package. Rarely is it stopped.
Well, they've been unable to stop it thus far. As this time we say
And it's
that,
going to be stopped.
and it's going to be stopped. So a little bit of miscue on the handoff.
The 2-point conversion attempt is no good.
So we do take a point off the board. And I hope that doesn't come back to get us. But
20 yards. That play was DeMarcus Bowman's 20-yard touchdown run.
Once again, that's
To the Lakeland Dreadnaughts 27.
the timing was off there. Even though it wasn't a shotgun snap, the timing was off.
It's kind of a congested formation to begin with, but that looked that it was not executed well.
I don't think that it was supposed to go to Martin, and the timing was off so bad that he couldn't get the ball to him. I think that they were trying to, because that's what we normally do. I think they're trying to catch him off guard and have Schemick Williams keep it, but I couldn't tell for sure. What do you think, Tim? You think?
It just looked like it was messed up. I think Jahari Martin was supposed to get it, and it just was a bad handoff, and he kept it and just got tackled.
I hate taking a point off the board in that situation. Now, it's one thing different if, like, it's a field goal, then you have a chance to get a touchdown. And that's a little different. In that situation, I hate doing that.
We saw at halftime Jace Hohenthaler out here practicing his long kicks. That one was nice down to the 1-yard line, but this is not nice. It's a pretty good return out to the 27-yard line. And
Fred was saying he thought that.
Yeah, it was Fred's thinking that was just a muffed kick. A little bit of a yips. He meant to kick it long and just kind of missed it.
Yeah, it's definitely not your traditional looking pooch kick, that's for sure. Or squib kick.
Congratulations to Chandra. You are the winner of the Regal 58-inch Smart TV.
Wow.
Please come to the
Regal just gave a 58-inch TV
Wow.
away. Someone a nice early Christmas present from Regal. So the Dreadnaughts lead 27-14. Tough going for Edgewater in their first series. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to be dropped. And
wow, what a
beautiful
tackle.
play on the exterior by number 4.
It's Q Hall.
Q Hall coming from the outside.
One of his best games of the year.
He's doing well.
Some nice tackles tonight.
And has good protection out there too. Man-to-man coverage a lot of times. He's been right there. Beautiful play.
Yeah, I really hope that decision doesn't come back to haunt us, because then I'm going to have to ask Castle a question by after the game. I won't be looking forward to that.
Second down and 13. Hopefully it won't come to that. As Harvey finding himself in a bit of a hole again. They're in these long down, second, third, long third. It's going to be up and picked off. Number 15 stay in bounds, and he does.
He's got
the sidelines. He's got some blockers, and he goes out of bounds just outside the 30. A late flag, but it'll be Dreadnaught ball. We'll just see where it's going to be marked after the penalty. Beautiful concentration by number 15, Antonio Ware, who just got the ball, stayed in bounds, and danced down the sideline.
He had a little bit of a rough game last week against Plant, but big play tonight there by Antonio Ware. The turnovers are now even, 1 apiece. And then we have the block punt as well.
Very good just ball awareness when the ball was in the air. Tough throw.
Holding on Lakeland to return, but we'll still have the ball in really good field position. So the infraction was on the 38-yard line, so we should start this drive on the Eagle 48-yard line. So still from where he intercepted the ball, we still got about a net of 12 yards. It would have been a net of about 30 yards on the return, but holding penalty eats up more than half of that.
Juggernaut Dreadnaught offense getting some momentum now. We have big third quarters. We've been a third quarter team notoriously, and boy, we could really make a statement here as McWilliams hands off Bowman. Bowman stuttering around, bobbing, pushing forward, and getting a nice 6 yards.
Maybe 7. I
First
think
down,
we got 7 yards.
He fell forward.
So Bowman 3 touchdowns again tonight for the second week in a row. 35 now for the season. Continues to add to his school record.
Wow. Yeah.
They were fortunate enough to win tonight, and he has a big game next week. He could be knocking on the door of 40 if he is to have a big game next week, if we're able to keep this lead.
Strong eye power fullback block. Bowman goes to the outside, stutter steps again, and picks up a first down, runs out of bounds. Beautiful, patient running by Bowman.
So see Coach Baylor pat DeMarcus on the head, clapping his hands, exhorting the troops.
Defense doing a little celebrating down here with the turnover chain.
Oh yeah, I love the turnover chain.
Gets the hardware.
Antonio gets to wear the hardware chain.
Beautiful. Sense of momentum shift towards the Knots. Early in this third quarter with the score and the turnover. Bowman keeps getting fed. Nice cut, Black. Boy, he juked 2 defenders completely from the Eagles. Totally knocked them out of their socks.
And that's a physical run, too. He jukes the guy, and then he puts his head down and gets an extra 2 or 3 yards. I know I say it all the times like a broken record, but he's the total package at running back. There's really nothing DeMarcus Bowman can do from the running back position.
Late flag. That was a weird one.
What is that for? Substitution infraction, maybe?
Oh, he was looking right at the Dreadnaught.
There are 12 guys?
He was looking right at
We only have 11 in the field right now.
It's going to be probably against the Dreadnaughts, but we don't know why. I just know he was looking straight at the Dreadnaughts huddle.
So unsportsmanlike conduct.
We have no idea where that came from, as that was way after the play and in the middle of the huddle. Maybe turned around and made a sign or something, or who knows.
That's a huge potentially momentum killing penalty. Now it's going to be second and long.
We said keep it clean. I mean, you can't get caught. We don't know what happened. I'm not even going to speculate. But
that's the first true boneheaded penalty of the night. I mean, in terms of just makes you scratch your head.
You would think it would be a boneheaded penalty as back underway. Steve McWilliams 5 yards deep in the shotgun. Had a little bit of movement there, but they didn't call it, and they're going to key on McWilliams and drop him for a big loss. So, as you said, momentum killer, yard killer, drive killer, 15-yard penalties will do it every time.
3rd and 19 now. So 21-3 St. Thomas Aquinas, the latest score from that other 7A semifinal game. All right, third and 23, Tim. Of course, you could always hand the ball to Bowman, but I think you take a shot downfield. If it gets picked off, then it's kind of like it was earlier in the game. Worked as a punt.
Let's see what they do here. McWilliams has had pretty decent protection. He drops back, and has got some room to run and finally throws. It has a man wide open, but it's caught. Are you kidding me? Did he get that ball? Oh, they're saying incomplete as the ball was thrown behind number 14, Deshaun Graham. I don't know if he got his arms under it. We don't have replay, so we can't tell, but that would have been a spectacular catch.
That's the second time tonight that Skeeman Williams has been scrambling to his right, had a guy open, and just can't get the ball to him on the run. I mean, if he can just put a little bit more mustard on that, get the ball up a little bit, that's a first down.
I mean, wide open. Graham has had several opportunities tonight. He has been, I don't know if he's just running those good of routes, but he's getting open.
Yeah, he's the one that had the illegal touching penalty early in the game.
Oh, that was nearly blocked.
Almost blocked. Good job getting it off there.
But it could get on that thing.
Nice.
There you go. That was a well-played ball down around the 2-yard line by Finley Graham, I think that was.
Jace has had some great punts tonight, Tim.
Yeah.
We're definitely winning the punting battle, that's for sure.
Made me nervous. I saw a couple Eagles coming in.
To see a good shot of the Lakeland fans. And Edgewater has a good amount of fans here tonight, and fans in both end zones. I mean, I think there might be more people here tonight than there was last week.
Well, that's what I was telling Fred. I went down to the restroom, and on the way back, it felt like the same type of crowd, if not more.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more.
And as a matter of fact,
so the ball's at the 1-yard line.
Like you said, they may have brought more than planned. Student section
so even though we couldn't get any points off the turnover, let's see, now that we got him hitting the 1-yard line, maybe we can get points still kind of off the turnover indirectly.
So the quarterback's just going to keep it off the
He's down
left
at the
side of the line.
He may have got a half a yard, that's about it.
RJ Harvey just
AJ Thomas with the tackle for Lakeland, the senior defensive lineman. Second 10.
Harvey just trying to manage this field position and not make a mistake here. Pin deep.
If we can make a punt from their end zone, then that'd be great. It'd be like a continuation on that last drive, Tim.
Go after him, Knott's. Dreadnaught's coming on this play. Fumble in the end zone. Ball down. Touchdown, Dreadnaughts. Touchdown, Dreadnaughts. That's a huge turnover right there.
Number 33, Jalen Taylor with the fumble recovery in the end zone. Give him the turnover chain now.
The Edgewater Eagles just panicked back there with the Dreadnaught defense. They were coming, Jeff. I just felt the pressure, and they felt the pressure and dropped the ball, made a big mistake, and Dreadnaughts recovered.
So each team now has scored a touchdown essentially off of a bad snap or fumble snap. Fred Lopez just texted us, Tim. Turnovers and defense. That's a good combination.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, that's going to be against Lakeland. So now we're going to have an long extra point unless they choose to have it enforced on their kickoff, which is what I would probably do if I was them.
Penalty was unsportsmanlike conduct against the Dreadnaughts.
So, two unsportsmanlike in the last 3 minutes.
The unsportsmanlike conduct would be enforced on the kickoff.
It's hard to fault that one.
Smart decision
just,
by the Edgewater.
A little bit of a celebration.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. I can live with that.
My phone's...
So actually that's 2 turnovers apiece now. I forgot about the interception that Skeeman Williams threw there in the second quarter. So 1 fumble, 1 interception apiece.
Beautiful kick. My wife just texted and said she's listening. Melissa, thank you for listening. As Jace Hohenthaler kicks
Glad
the
that
extra
Tim's
point.
boss is watching
My boss
and listening
is
tonight.
checking in with me to make sure that I'm doing my job. 34-14. That makes you feel a little better right now here in this third quarter.
We got to give credit right now, big time credit to that man right there, Jace Hohenthaler, because he essentially got us that touchdown. After they stopped us due to the penalty after the interception, he uncorked a beautiful punt, and whoever that was, I'm not sure which player for Lakeland, downed it at the 1-yard line. I wish I could have.
It's Finley Graham.
Finley downed it?
Yeah.
Well, give credit to Jace Hohenthaler and Finley Graham, because they essentially set up that touchdown after the interception. So in a way, you could say we got points at the turnover, because we essentially almost did. But you got to give major credit there to Hohenthaler and Finley Graham. Without that, they would have had the ball at the 20-yard line. So
one of the
special
things
teams is making. Both teams have had big plays on special teams tonight, Tim. So Lakeland's having to kick the ball from their own 25-yard line. Now at this point, maybe you do some kind of a squib kick.
See how far Jace can boot it. He's going to kick it, and that was a mistake. I think it would have went out of bounds, but number 6 Leary is going to try to return it. He's got a lot of room. He's going to try to get to the outside, and he's going to have fantastic field position down near the 40-yard line. So
once again, special teams. Both teams are making some big plays. Lakeland with the biggest lead of the night, 10 by 20, 34-14.
There's a late flag on the play, and number 44.
An ejection for somebody. A Lakeland player's been ejected.
Everyone just needs to take a breath. Some
That's
temper's
not good,
flaring
Tim.
a little bit now. I don't know. Where did you see the ejection? I didn't see. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm confused. I looked down for a second, then he pointed back to Edgewater. Initially, he said all the penalties were against Lakeland, but I think the ref needs to clarify that. So there's also a holding against Edgewater, but apparently maybe 2 personal foul penalties against the same, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Lakeland. But if there is in fact an ejection, which it seemed like he made the ejection symbol, or signal.
I don't think there's any penalty against Lakeland. It's all against Edgewater.
I hope so, because if there was an ejection, then if you win this game, that player most likely would be ineligible next week in the state championship game.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone come off or any signal. I think he
may have been turned around when he gave you the penalties a while ago. Let's see.
So that was one 15-yarder marked off.
There were offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. There was also a holding penalty which was enforced against the Eagles.
There you
There
go.
was also a disqualification on the play. The Eagles will take over. First down and 10 from their own 41-yard
So there was a disqualification.
There was.
We're not sure which team because it was offsetting personal fouls.
A lot going on that play, offsetting personal fouls, a holding call that was assessed, and one ejection.
No, actually, everything was on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So wait, so this referee, he initially signaled both unsportsmanlike conducts against Lakeland. Kind of find out they're both against Edgewater, and there's a holding. So that just totally wiped out that great kickoff return by Christian Leary for Edgewater.
Official timeout for the third quarter.
Official timeout for the third quarter water break. But I think the referees need a break because they're doing a lot of walking back and forth, marking up all these penalties, Tim Connie. I think they needed a breather themselves.
I want to remind you that you can visit FHSAA.org for official news and results of the 2018 football championships, including results of all the rounds. That's FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. Also, the FHSA would like to recognize its corporate sponsors who help make the FHSA football championships possible. Team IP, Gatorade Thirst Quencher, Main Light Events, Balfour, Spectrum Sports, Max Preps, GoFan, Wilson, and NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA.
In the case of inclement weather, please check lakelandfootball.com by 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Of course, next weekend, championship games hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission. All those actions take place at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, December 6th through the 8th, which is next weekend. Tickets start at just $12, and you can visit that FHSAA.org for more information. Hopefully we're all heading that way for a Dreadnaught game. Last we heard, St. Thomas still up on Venice 21-3.
Your credit card has been turned in here. Your debit card has been turned in here.
So R.J. Harvey has some work to do now at the 10-yard line. For certainly Keeple rolling out right side is going to pitch it to Conley. Conley's going to get strung out and then drop. What
Good
a beautiful tackle down low. Dreadnaught defense playing stellar.
Jalen Taylor, fresh off a fumble recovery for a touchdown, makes a great tackle there.
Jalen's feeling it.
Having a great game. This Dreadnaught defense is so good, Tim. I mean, they've allowed a big play here or there, but, I mean, really, they haven't allowed that majority. I mean, their second touchdown was set up by the kickoff return.
What I like, Jeff, is we're calling Lloyd Summerall early. We're calling Jalen Taylor. We're calling all these different players. Finley Graham. Everyone's contributing. Q Hall. Everyone's doing a great job on defenses. Throwing out. Picked off. Could it be a pick six? Touchdown Knots. Steps in front of the ball. Beautiful play by the cornerbacks last week.
Nixon.
A little bit exposed last week. Not this week. They made
the
some
wheels
corrections.
are coming off for the Edgewater Eagles, and the Lakeland High School Dreadnaughts have firmly grabbed control of this ball game here in the third quarter. Tim, you called it Lakeland's the third quarter team, and it's coming true again tonight. Yeah, just what you were saying, Tim. Last week, the secondary kind of got torched a little bit by Plant, but tonight, as you said, it's a complete team effort by the Lakeland defense. All 11 guys on the field are in sync, and they're playing great. And you got to give major credit to Coach Bill Boldini. He's as good as defensive coordinator as there is in Polk County, one of the best in the state. Just great job by Coach Boldini getting his troops prepared for this game after giving up their most points of the year last week against Plant.
Nice extra point kick by Jace Hohenthaler is good to go up 41-14. Flip it. We got 4-1. They got 1-4. Pretty nice job by the Dreadnaughts. This is. Let's go ahead.
Back-to-back defensive touchdowns, Tim Connie.
Unbelievable. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout as you're watching the 2018 FHSA Football State Semifinals on the Lakeland Football Webcast. Or we'll keep it here. A lot of excitement going on right now as the Knots burst in the third quarter.
I'm not going to start talking about next week yet. We'll wait till the fourth quarter.
My phone's going off.
I'm going to bite my tongue.
I know. You got it on vibrate. My
if
phone's
this score holds and the defense continues to play this way, I think I'm going to have to interview Coach Boldini along with Coach Castle tonight after the game.
Explosive third quarter, who has basically buried the Eagles with a little bit of hope, but not much.
Wow, just found out that the ejected player for Edgewater is their stud defensive end, Nathan White. So that is bad news if you're an Eagles fan. That's going to probably even open up more running lanes for DeMarcus Bowman and company when Lakeland gets the ball back. But we actually haven't had the ball in a while because we've scored back-to-back defensive touchdowns.
Lakeland
3 turnovers in a row.
Yeah.
But don't forget that this onslaught started with the down punt at the 1 yard line. We scored an offense to make it 27-14, but then this last onslaught of back-to-back defensive touchdowns started with the great punt by Chase Hohenthaler and Finley Graham down in the ball at the 1 yard line. Tim, I don't know who I'm going to interview tonight. I can interview about 10 or 12 different players. Maybe we'll interview the whole team down there.
Quarterback Harvey rolls out right side, getting pressure. Harvey going to go back to the left, diving, try and attempt, get to the outside, pushed out of bounds.
Harvey showing you his escapability there.
I don't know how he escaped Lloyd Summerall, but
Khalil
he did
Crawford
somehow.
having a little bit of a quiet game tonight, but
yeah.
Got the tackle there as he pushed Harvey out of bounds.
No question about Harvey's athletic ability whatsoever. We saw that at the end of the first half. There's another late flag coming in.
Another flag.
Oh boy, things getting a little out of control for the Eagles.
Yeah, up until the last 5 or 10 minutes, especially the whole first half, the Eagles look like a very well-coached, disciplined team. And I don't know, the discipline is kind of out the door right now as they had 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in the last 2 or 3 minutes of clock time.
Uncharted territory for them is, again, a relatively new team this deep in the playoffs under a new coach and finding themselves in what they would think is They said they travel well. I get it, but not quite like Bryant Stadium. That's a whole new ball game, a whole different environment when you go down a couple scores.
Bryant Stadium's
Emotions
become a
will
house
flare.
of horrors for
Yeah.
Edgewater here in the third quarter.
I'll remember it for a long time, that's for sure. Defense checks off. Harvey on a 2nd and 19 drops back, looking to pass, holds it to his chest, fires, has a man, but also the Dreadnaughts are down there, will go for the ball, incomplete pass.
I mean, Tim, the difference in our secondary from last week to this week
Unbelievable, yeah.
is astounding.
I mean, we're blanketing
phenomenal
the
coverage.
wide receivers.
Phenomenal coverage.
And not only with one guy, there's also usually two or three guys defending on every receiver downfield.
As you see Coach Bulldini there, calling out the play to his troops. 3rd and 19 now for Edgewater.
Harvey continuing to battle, but time running out for Harvey as he's looking down the sideline. He's going to fire it over the middle. Caught, complete, but it's going to be short of a first down at the 23.
They're in a 4th and manageable. There's about 4th and 8, 4th and 7. You're down 27 points. I think they might go for it here. Yeah, they're going to send the punter in, which as shaky as their punt game's been tonight, you might be better off going for it, to be honest with you.
You know, you can pick any one of his defensive players, Tayshawn Nixon, Hampton. I mean, they're all having good games. All playing their part
phenomenal.
today.
Lloyd Summerall, phenomenal game. A.J. Thomas, we called his name a bunch.
They're having fun, too. Q Hall just dove off the sideline, rolled around a little bit. They're enjoying themselves here.
I feel like I got to interview Bowman. He's got 3 touchdowns. Close to 100 yards, if not already over 100 yards. Yeah, I think he's got over 100 right now.
There's a whistle blown.
I think it might be delay game. Yep. Delay game is the call. On defense, though, yeah, I can't give you any number of players. I mean, Tayshawn Nixon to pick 6. Jalen Taylor recovered a fumble in the end zone. Take your pick.
Well, here's the good news for
maybe I'll just
the Edgewater Eagles.
Flip a coin.
This is a great learning experience, and your quarterback, R.J. Harvey, is a junior, 11th grader. So
he's already a Virginia commit as a junior. Wow.
Well, so is Connolly, one of their other star running backs. So they have a couple.
I think most of their top receivers are all seniors.
A couple big players that may have a shot again. Is a decent punt that trickles out of bounds just shy of the 50.
One of their better punts of the night, about 28 yards. You know what time it is, Tim? It's DeMarcus Bowman time. That's what time it is. For all of our Gator and Seminole Dreadnaught fans, they might recognize this score, 41-14. I think might bring back happy memories for one group of fans and not so happy memories for the other group.
You almost start wondering if Castle is going to, in fact, as we get close to this fourth quarter, pull some of his starters. I think he probably will.
Yeah, you want to keep everyone healthy for next week as long as we keep this lead.
But probably going to finish out the third quarter with the starting crew just in Eagle territory. Bowman's going to go down. That's okay. That wasn't really much of anything. Yeah.
That last push was clearly after the whistle, but I don't think they've consistently not called that tonight.
No, that didn't bother me so much. That was no malintent really there.
So a loss of about 2 on the play.
And Bowman was still fighting, so.
Play lost 2 yards, brings up 2nd down and 12.
Pretty generous.
They have made Bowman work
Knots.
for his yards tonight. He's obviously got 3 touchdowns and got a few big runs. But I think the biggest run tonight for him is 36 yards. Last week he had 3 runs longer than that. So
I've been impressed.
They definitely made him work for all the yards
Sean
he's
Graham,
got.
who's out there with Zipper and Howard. They do hand off Bowman on the right side.
Ooh. Well, I hope Bowman's okay. He's going to get up.
Yeah, again,
that was almost like a horse collar type tackle there.
Yeah, it makes you nervous having him in the game right now when you have
Yeah,
Kellum.
I might get Kellum in there. Kellum's very good
Kellum,
on his
number
own
21,
right.
Reginald Kellum, who can hold his own and has got fresh legs. It may not be a bad idea to stick him in there. Ski McWilliams comes back in with the play. Now on a long 3rd down, so we're just taking some time off the clock on this drive, really not doing a whole bunch. See if we go to the air to try to pick this 3rd and 13 up. about the 2.5-minute mark here as this ball gets snapped, rolling out left side. Quarterback looking, now has some room. Right side's
He's
got
it. Take
He's
off.
going to run, and he could get it. He's got the first down as he hits the sideline and picks up a few more yards and gets
That's
slung
a
out
late
of
hit
bounds.
there.
Should be a late hit, but
This crew team refuses to call late hit tonight. Look like to me, of course, that's on the opposite side of the field from us over on the east sideline, but it looked like he was clearly out of bounds.
somehow they thread the needle with the Eagle cheerleaders.
Great
over
scramble
there
there
as well.
by Skeeman Williams.
Yeah, heads up scramble. When the field opens up like that and you've got literally like a tundra in front of you, good idea to just run it, tuck it, pick up the first down, keep the chains moving. How do your interview go with B&L Tires? Find out some
Very
good
nice,
info?
yeah.
Good.
Very good company here in Lakeland. Anybody needs tires, highly recommend you to check out B&L Tires. In business since 1957, Tim.
All right.
And owned by the Crawford family since 1972.
Might have been a delay of game there, late in getting that play off, or yeah, it was a delay of game.
First penalty in a while against Lakeland.
We'll bring up a 1st and 15, but the Knots still taking some time off the clock. You're having a stellar third quarter. True to our normal scoring pattern, busting this one open.
Big news in NFL today in fantasy football. The Chiefs released their star running back Kareem Hunt as video surfaced of him assaulting a woman.
Heard about that.
So he's been released. And there goes my chances of winning my fantasy league.
NFL will
But I support the Chiefs in releasing him. There's no
not
place for
tolerate that sort of behavior whatsoever. Nice fake handoff, rolling out left side. Lots of room for Howard. Howard is going to cut back. Nice job,
Nice.
Howard, inside the 20.
Move after he called the ball.
Nice little yak yards after the
And
catch
that's
for
going to
Howard.
be just enough for a first down. A gain of about 16 or 17 on a 1st and 15 play.
As
The Knots are in the red zone. Uh-oh, got a Dreadnaught down.
West kind of got run up or run over as he was blocking. That can be dangerous coming from the backside. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout as West is on the field. Hopefully he'll be back up shortly, and we'll take a brief timeout. Be right back with you.
This is what you expect.
Don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Back up in the press box, just got an update on the St. Thomas Venice game. St. Thomas up 28-6, so Venice finding it hard up going against St. Thomas on offense. Good defensive play.
It's been a decade, but looks like we might be having another Lakeland St. Thomas Aquinas.
The highly
championship
anticipated
10 years in the making.
A rematch. Firing. Wow, nice catch by Howard.
Yeah.
As
that ball was a little bit low there. Yeah, great catch by Howard.
old McWilliams put some mustard on that one. Just chucked it over there, and Howard went low to grab it. And then nice little run down the sideline.
Skeeman Williams not having his best game throwing the
No,
ball
he's
tonight,
not.
but he's had a couple nice runs.
Brings up 2nd down and 2.
It's all right. His other teams like, we got you. Jahari Martin, Bowman,
2nd and 2
Kellum,
for the
Zipper,
Dreadnaughts.
Howard, Deshaun Graham, everyone contributing tonight on offense. Fullback in there this time, I formation. Nice block by number 25. Bowman squirts through inside the 5 to the 4.
He gets a first down. Ooh, yeah, he got the first down.
And another
flag. If that penalty is against Edgewater, it'll be 1st and goal for Lakeland. Either way, it's going to be 1st and goal, but we'll see where the ball's spotted at.
Yep.
Another unsportsmanlike conduct against I think DeMarcus Bowman got something in his eye. He came over to the sideline. It looked like he might be squirting water in his eye. Maybe got some grass in there, or maybe he got poked in the eye. But he's going to be okay, though.
He brings up 1st down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Penalty will bring up a 1st and goal at the 3. McWilliams has the jumbo hammer in there. Jahari Martin pushes his way pretty easy going. That looks too easy for number 19.
If you notice on those jumbo packages on short yardage carries by Martin, he often gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he's so big, he bounces off of guys and plows forward. That's happened 2 or 3 times tonight.
He just says, I'm not stopping until I see orange. If I see green under my feet, I'm not stopping. That's what you want in that formation. They've been unable. That has been a difference maker tonight. Eagles just don't know what to do with that. They don't know who to go after, and it's just they're overmatched with power.
Castle's going for 2 again.
Dominating performances. McWilliams, same thing. Jahari Martin, right side, goes in easy again.
Castle likes to go by multiples of 7. He's finally got back on track, 49-14.
He can sleep now. You know, if he's off kilter, he's not going to be good. But
we missed 2 extra points, and we've.
Well, I would say that's a statement.
Actually, we
third
missed 1
quarter.
extra point, then we went for the 2, but 2 2-point conversions. Yeah, no kidding. 28-0 in the third quarter. You know, Tim, I can't say I expected Lakeland to win by this much, but it's kind of the way I expected the game to go, generally speaking. What I mean by that is Lakeland's a better team. They have a phenomenal lights-out defense. I think the best defense in the state. You're at home. You got the upstart Eagles coming in. They're hot. You know, they gave Lakeland a battle. They made him work for it. Made DeMarcus Bowman work for his yards. But at the end of the day, too much Dreadnaught defense in this game. And, you know, they stay in the game for a while. Only done by 7.5, but the better team is winning this game, Tim. No doubt about it.
Nice catch by number 6 at the 5. He kind of did the overhead catch to Leary. He's heading straight up the field. Nice tackle there by Hampton.
Jason Hampton made the tackle. I'll tell you one thing that we're going to be working on next week in practice is kickoff return.
They've not done well on that.
That's the one area you could say we haven't done well at. Other than that, special teams has been great. And, you know, punt block, we had a nice punt return, great punting by Jace Hohenthaler. And he did miss 1 extra point, but by far the weakest part of the night tonight would be our kickoff coverage unit.
Well, I'd say this would be a good time to come to the Dreadnaught Highlight Report with Coach Castle this Monday night, December 3rd at 7 p.m. Should be fun. LHS Film Room or the locker room. Come listen to Coach Castle talk Dreadnaught football and go over now what we can say will be the opponent in the championship game, which would be St. Thomas. So
it's a running clock now, Tim. It's 35-point lead. Wow.
Something else. Harvey.
You don't expect to see a running clock in a state semifinal game.
No.
I envision it being more, you know, close for a while. Lakeland pull away, maybe win by a couple of touchdowns, you know, or something. Maybe, you know, 17, 21 points, but didn't really see this coming. Not against a team that's been winning playoff games by 33 points a game. But your score at the end of 3, Lakeland 49 and Edgewater 14.
You can certainly see, and I can see the capability that Edgewater has, and I can see where they've blown people out. I mean, if they get on a run and the quarterback's feeling it, I can see where some defenses would have a real rough time. But this defense is too complete, Jeff Goddard. That's the difference that I saw.
Yeah, I don't think they've seen a defense like this all year.
And they keep coming at you. It's not like they'll throw one series and do a decent series. They're solid every series as they come out.
Yeah, I mean, their defense has played well for the most part. They've kept our offense in check to a certain degree, you know.
So again, you can make your plans to attend the 2018 Florida High School State Championship Games hosted by Central Florida Sports Commission. All the action takes place there at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, December 6th through the 8th, which is next weekend. Tickets start just at $12. And for you Lakeland fans, here's some playoff ticket information more local. General admission, of course, $12, but you can purchase in advance at Marshall's Jewelers at their new location next to Bedrock's Wings, East Edgewood Drive. As Harvey's going to fire it over the middle, a nice defensive play by Q Hall. Q comes up on Leary and disrupts the play, and he's unable to catch it.
Q Hall has played a phenomenal game tonight, by far his best game of the year, as he timed that just perfectly, Tim.
Also sneak in there that you can buy tickets for next week's game at the LHS school office on Hollingsworth Road in the guidance office. You see Penny Campbell for tickets.
St. Thomas up 41-6 now. So
Oh,
both
boy.
Lakeland and St. Thomas up by 35 points.
Boy. Isn't that interesting? Harvey rolling out, looking deep, no question. Throws it over the middle. Nice catch at the first down marker and passed. So it'll be first down, number 13,
Jason
Stribling.
Hampton and Jalen Taylor make the tackle. Even when they complete passes, for the most part, we're right there to tackle them.
That's actually Tommy Hill, number 13. Kobe Stribling's number 14.
Tackle by Tayshawn Rodman results in an Eagles first down.
Whoa, ends coming around. Harvey getting pressure. He throws it over the middle. And a beautiful diving try by number 6.
He's shaking up. Larry's shaking up.
Yeah, he just hit the turf hard.
Hopefully he just hit his stomach, got in the wind knocked out, because if he hit his shoulder, he could have broken a collarbone, but I think he landed more in his stomach area and not his shoulder.
Yeah, it looked like he got the wind knocked down, but he's not feeling too good right now, as we do have this injury that looks like it may take a moment or two. It'll give us a chance to take a brief timeout as
I want to give a quick shout out to my wife,
yeah,
Lori.
Go ahead, do that
She's
first.
watching. She just texted me. Glad that both of our wives watching tonight.
Let's go ahead and take that timeout in this state semifinal game on the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back. Well, good news is Leary is up, but he is slowly walking off the field. Got an update from one of my friends. Victory lost to North Florida Christian 23-20, if you're following some of the other scores around the state tonight, as we're deep in the playoffs here, the state semifinals. All championship games will be played next weekend. After the incomplete pass to Leary, he goes off, second down 10, Stribling in motion. And he's going to look to throw the ball. And he comes back, cutting across the field. Dreadnought defense just too disciplined, staying at their positions. And there's another Eagle down. Is Finley Graham doing push-ups down there at the 35? It is. Getting a little extra cardio and work in there. Coach is like, what are you doing? Like, Coach, I'm just getting a little extra pump in there at the 35. They're feeling it. The defense, rightfully so. Holding this power-packed offense to 14 thus far. 9:46 in the game remaining. Harvey drops back, looking deep again, getting pressure over the middle. Sacked! Harvey goes down. Just too good at coverage downfield. Here you go, PJ.
The tackle.
Haven't called his name tonight.
Yeah, first time tonight.
Everybody having a good game on defense. And that has been the difference maker. Harvey on a 4th and 11, going for it, rolling out, firing, caught.
That's a nice pitch and catch there as they get the first down. Tim, speaking of the fact that we both said hi to our wives, I know you feel the same way. We just want to thank both our wives for allowing us to do this and come hang out at Bryant Stadium on Friday night and call Lakeland games.
That is a great shout out, because they do say, hey, go get your football fix, have fun, watch some Dreadnaught football, and they know where we're at on a Friday night. As Connolly bouncing off Dreadnaught defenders, picking up a solid 8 yards. As you would guess it, H-O-R-S-E, horse. Played by the Lakeland Dreadnaught Marching Band.
7 yards, brings up 2nd down and 3.
Dreadnaughts appearing to go to 14-0. Wowzer. Harvey rolling. Escapes number 11, gets to the outside. Harvey cuts it back up to the middle, turns around, spins, gets to the 23. R.J. Harvey and a nice keeper.
Good tackle. Good block there. Kind of a.
Well, as well as Lloyd
Jason
Summerall
Hampton,
has played, he's missed a few, but he's certainly caused
He's
players
always
he's
applying
always
pressure.
right there. Lakeland Dreadnaught player down at the 25. I think just hopefully some cramps. That's 33. Jalen Taylor, excuse me.
You're yawning there, Tim. Is it past your
He's
bedtime?
up. Nope, Dreadnoughts have just put Edgewater to bed is all.
Yep.
These tickets will be general admission only, and they are $12 each. You can also go to Ticketmaster and purchase general admission or reserve seats through the.
So next week, Dreadnaught fans, we will not be doing the webcast, as of course we're not allowed to do the state championship games. For all of you who live in the area or can get to Orlando, we encourage all of you to come next week. I'm not sure if the kickoff's at 7 or 8. I think it's either 7:30 or 8. It might be a little bit later because they have 2 games earlier in the day. So I know it's not 7. It's either 7:30 or 8. But the game will be at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. We encourage all of Dreadnaught Nation to come out and support Lakeland in the state championship game next Friday night.
Harvey going back, firing man-to-man coverage, post pattern up and caught. Touchdown. That was a beautiful looking play.
Tommy Hall made several big plays for Edgewater tonight.
That was a good
That was a great
looking
throw,
pass.
great fade there by Harvey, and great catch by Tommy Hall.
Hall just out-jumped Finley Graham is all.
One of the few times there we've actually really gotten beat on the pass play tonight.
Those are some of the hardest plays to defend. Coach Castles likes that play himself a lot. Used to use it a lot. Hasn't used it much this year, but hasn't needed to really.
That's the play that we were raved about Mason Martin making earlier in the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Fade in that same end zone right there, the northeast corner of Bryant Stadium.
I think that's a great play when you have receivers that can go up and get the ball. Number 82.
We'll see if the Eagles try an onside kick it off.
Number 16, Deshaun Nixon's getting close to blocking all those.
To be honest, I don't really know a lot about St. Thomas Aquinas this year, other than they're good because they're always good. I don't know too much specifically about them, and I'm sure they'll probably be considered to be the favorite, I would imagine. But I gotta be honest with you, if this Dreadnaught defense plays as good next week as they play tonight, Lakeland will be in the game. We'll have a chance to win another state championship.
Yeah.
Coach Castle 6-1 in state championship games, so he'll be in his 8th state championship game next Friday night, as long as we can hold this 28-point lead with 5:56 to go. If we recover a potential onside kick here with the running clock, all we need to do to run out the clock is really get maybe about 2 first downs or so with the running clock, and we'll be able, maybe 3 at the most, and we can put this baby to bed.
Camping World Stadium in Orlando on Friday, December 7th at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. late kick for the game next week.
Interesting. 8.
So plenty of time to get there when you get off work, but it'll be a kind of a late night.
It'll be fun if the Lakeland Dreadnaughts can bring all these people down here. If they're here at Lakeland, if they can, half these people can show up, it'll be rocking over there at Camping World Stadium. And I tell you, Jeff, there's a lot of other good classifications, but you can't tell me the 7A is not going to be the highlight game that everyone's going to be watching. So onside kick attempt and caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Is that number 19?
No, I think it's Keon Zipper.
Who is that? What a heads-up play on the line.
It is Jahari Martin, you're right. I thought it was Zipper.
Jahari Martin just, with confidence boosting, just takes that short onside kick that popped up and
It's
kept running.
a bizarro kind of world with Jahari Martin has a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh, my
Look
goodness.
at that. Look at that. Jahari Martin with a rushing touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and a couple of two-point conversions to boot.
And it goes well. It goes well. This second half has been owned by the Knots. The Eagles just scoring one touchdown in their last possession, but every other point
That was kind of a weak onside kick.
That was.
That was an easy one.
It only went
kind of
about 4 yards in the air and popped.
And room service bounce.
Well,
right
to Jahari's credit, I mean, he just went after the ball. He saw it was up in the air and he could get it, and then he was already past the special teams when he caught the ball. I mean, he had the momentum running. There was no way anyone was going to get him.
Nope, no question about it. I actually think me or you, Tim, could have scored on that play.
I might have been able to. But it was his confidence in the decision
Tim,
making.
The flag boys for Lakeland are getting a workout
They're
tonight.
getting tired. They're starting to walk.
Yeah, they
it's
need
a fast
to,
walk instead of a jog down.
Someone needs to feed them after the game. They're burning a lot of calories.
Oh, roughing the kicker there as well, assessed.
Tonight's sponsor of the game is
Hey, here's what I'll say. When you got the two Ds that Lakeland has, you have a chance against anybody. DeMarcus Bowman and the defense.
Yeah.
You give me DeMarcus and his defense, and I'll take my chances next week against
I hear you.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
There's a few jokes in there, but I'll let them go.
As you see Jahari Martin with a big smile on his face. Have we interviewed Jahari this year? I'm not sure if we have.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I interviewed
It might be a
Jahari
good
tonight.
time
Yeah, I
to pull
mean,
him
he's
aside.
done it on offense, special teams, and defense tonight.
Now 2 weeks in a row as well.
We'll get DeMarcus and Jahari.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from Jahari.
Maybe
there he is right there.
Maybe Tayshawn Nixon too to pick six.
A lot of personality. He's, like I said, he's got confidence just oozing right now.
Just got a text from Coach Baylor's dad saying, "See you in Orlando." Yes, sir, Mr. Baylor. We will see you next Friday night. Glad you guys are making the trip down.
If you've never experienced, if you're just kind of a new Dreadnaught fan or newer Dreadnaught fan, you have not been to a state championship game, it's something special. The play is elevated. You're truly talking now with St. Thomas. I mean, the elite of the elite at the top of their game, and you want to see some good football, you have to come watch it. It's really a treat. And
that's going to be awesome.
And again, it's not like it's down in Miami, and so no real big excuses for the Knots not to travel just a mere 45, 50 minutes over to Camping World.
We also remind the viewing audience, if you're in the Lakeland area tomorrow night, we're having a special December Christmas showing of the movie Elf here at Bryant Stadium on the new Jumbotron. If you haven't been to a game yet this year, have a brand new Jumbotron, and it'll be great. We'll have food and candy and food and drinks in the concession stands you can buy. So I encourage you to come out tomorrow night. Tim, what time is that start? Do we have it? I think it's 7 o'clock. I'll try to verify that for you. I think it's 7 o'clock start for Elf tomorrow night.
There's a flag on the play, low snap. I want to also do a quick shout out to my friend Dave Shiver up in North Carolina. Dave was in a little car accident here a little while back, and he's been recouping, but he's getting a treat tonight watching the Knots, and he just sent me this text that basically just said, wow. And so we agree with you, Dave. Good buddy of mine, and we love you. Hope you speedy recovery for you, as it is a wow kind of night for the Knots, posting 56. The minute and 35 left.
All right, so I'm getting some clarification here. Tomorrow night, if you want to come watch Elf on the Jumbotron.
Well, here we go with fourth quarter. Yeah.
Oh, I think St. Thomas went backwards. They had 41. Maybe we got a bad score at some point.
38-12. We thought it was 41.
So the gates open at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, Tim, for Elf, and the movie starts at 7. So it'll be a great night. If you're in the area, I encourage you to come out and watch Elf on the big screen. You can bring a blanket or chair and sit on the field, or you can sit in the stands, whatever you want. It's a great way to kick off December and support the Lakeland Booster Club.
Last couple plays here for Edgewater, and as they did have a fantastic season, and that nearly could be a safety. I mean, that was close. as Harvey.
Tim, on the way down to the field, get ready for some interviews. It's been a
head
pleasure
down.
calling another year with
Fantastic.
you, and
Yep.
we'll see you after the game.
Sounds good. Jeff's going to go down and set up some fantastic post-game interviews with hopefully Jahari Martin and Coach Bill Castle. We'll see who else he comes up with. Loss of 6 yards on the play. Thanks again to all the crew, Michael Barrett, everyone that's been on the camera this year, down the sidelines. The Dreadnaughts will put the state semifinal to rest with a final score of 56-21 as streamers fly here at Bryant Stadium, and jubilation as Coach Castle is going to get dunked and drenched by the water cooler as the Lakeland Dreadnaughts are headed to the FHSAA 2018 state championship game against St. Thomas Aquinas. 14-0 thus far. Perfect season. 2008's the last time we were in a state final, and we actually lost, as we do have some fireworks going on in the north end zone. A fit celebration for the district champions and now state semifinal finalists. Edgewater, valiant effort. Harvey and company, very talented group. Averaging 44 points a game, not getting close tonight against this tumultuous Dreadnaught defense. Just too much to handle. They made it interesting in the first half, but you could see them starting to get worn down. Too much Bowman, too much defense, as Jeff Goddard coined a few moments ago. I would agree with that. Thank you to all of you fans, too, that have joined us throughout the season in the home webcast. We absolutely enjoy, hopefully, giving you the lighter side of things a little bit. We don't get too serious with ourselves, but try not to get too technical and just have fun up here enjoying some high school football. There's some backflips going on at the 22-yard line. Celebration no doubt underway for the Knots as the congratulations continue to take place at midfield. Edgewater did a great job of traveling as well. They had a spectacular crowd, and they thought that they may have a shot at the upset here at Bryant Stadium as we got into the second quarter. But as soon as they erupted, I would say, after halftime, the Eagles' soaring became a duck dive. And they, in fact, experienced the full brunt of Bryant Stadium Dreadnaught football here. Knots win 56-21, as you can see there on your screen. Thank you again for joining us all season. Boy, what a complete team effort. I'm not going to give a player of the game. You can't even do it with this kind of full team effort. So the Dreadnaught defense gets a team ball in the Dreadnaught offense. Therefore, a complete offensive defensive performance for the MVPs tonight. Everybody gets you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. As you can see, George Williams doing a prayer, and boy, a lot to be thankful for your Dreadnaught. Right there, Michael Barrett's put up a graphic. If you're still watching this, there's a t-shirt, Dreadnaught football t-shirt up on the board. You'll have to just check our website. There'll be information up there on how you can order one of those t-shirts if you want to join the blackout and have one of those fine-looking Dreadnaught t-shirts. Check the websites. I think Michael said was the price $15 or $12. Michael, $15. $15. Those shirts will be available Monday, so check the website. And Michael just said we'll also send an email out about ordering, so be on the lookout for that. Join in on that fine-looking T-shirt there, just $15 available Monday, and they will be sending some emails out again. We're back where we belong. Dreadnaught football 2018 coming your way. The state championship game next week against the St. Thomas Aquinas team from Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be a challenge, but we've got a team that can pull it off, so we're all excited as the alma mater cranking up in the north end zone. Jeff's not up here, but I do have a Goddard up here in the press box, as Jeff's brother is up here. And the Dreadnaughts still streaming all over as Coach Castle continues to get some congratulations there, as you saw him. Students should be proud. It's always fun when you hit one of those years when you're a senior, obviously as a football player, but also as a student where your team goes to the state championship. It just adds an extra bit of joy to your senior season. Continue to see streamers going off down there in the end zone. Let's just sit back and enjoy the celebration as we wait for Jeff to wrestle up his post-game interviews. Give credit to the Edgewater Eagles as they came in, again, you've heard it many times tonight, just 2 years ago, 0-10. It's almost hard to believe, but their coach of just 2 years really turned this program around in a big way. Cameron Duke had a 21-4 now, 21-5 record, and 12-2 now on this 2018 season, getting all the way to the Florida FHSA state semifinal game. Tough order, tough task against this Naughts team to travel here to Bryant Stadium and pull the upset. But they gave it a valiant effort, particularly in the first half, but came up a little bit short. Still a lot to be proud of if you're an Eagle. And they got some good players, including Harvey, their star quarterback, coming back next year. So they could make a run at it again. See what happens to them as we move along next season. But a lot to be played out still here in this 2018 campaign as Jeff Goddard is getting set down on the field. Let's go ahead and take it downstairs to Jeff Goddard. Jeff, take it away.
This is Jeff Goddard down the field with victorious head coach Bill Castle. Coach, first time in 10 years you're back in a state championship game. Describe your feelings right now.
Oh man, it feels good, and I'm just so happy for all our fans. The support we got this year, was tremendous. Our football teams worked so hard and everything, and but we got one game left, so we don't want to get too happy. We're not going just to be in it. We're going to try to play to win now.
Well, when you have the kind of defense you certainly have a chance against St. Thomas next week. Just describe the phenomenal effort by your defense tonight.
The third quarter, our defense just played lights out. They scored, more touchdowns, I think, than we did on offense tonight. Just an unbelievable job, but they've been playing that way all year long and certainly deserve a lot of credit.
And let's go back to the first half. They scored first 7-6, and we answer right back in less than a minute. Back-to-back 30-plus yard runs by DeMarcus Bowman. Talk about the importance to get the lead back and how great DeMarcus was.
Well, we knew coming in, their defense is quick, and they got a tough defense, but we found a couple of plays there, and then he made some good runs and definitely did a good job getting it in the end zone.
What do you know, if anything, about St. Thomas Aquinas? Last score, they're up 26 against Venice. What can you tell us about how tough of a matchup it would be next week?
Well, they're loaded. They're loaded. There's no with D1, so it's there's no doubt it'll be be a tough game for us. But hey, we look forward to the challenge, and I'm real happy for his team. They've worked so hard.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Great job. We'll see you next Friday in Orlando.
Thank you.
And now we're joined by defensive coordinator Bill Baldini. Coach, just a phenomenal effort again by your defense tonight. Just talk a bit about, in general, the great effort by your team tonight.
Well, they just came to play. You know, with the first half, we made a couple of mistakes, then we just had to make a couple of adjustments, fix them up on the sideline. The kids weren't happy at halftime. They came out ready to play, and we really balled in the second half. Jahari Martin was incredible. Lloyd Summerall, the whole defense was just swarming all over the field. Good athletes make good coaches.
Absolutely, and good coaches get athletes ready to play, Coach. another great game by you. But one thing specific I want to ask you about is the secondary. In the pregame show tonight, we were talking about maybe last week Plant maybe exposed just a little bit. The secondary with some big plays. What do you guys work on in practice to correct some of the blown coverages from last week?
Well, you know, one of them last week was a groin pull by Tony Ware, and then you know he just got caught out in the field, and we couldn't get him off. You know, and we had a couple of coverage breakdowns, and that's all it was. It wasn't anything physical, so we just had to work on those to correct them all week. You know, don't let those guys get behind you is what we told them.
But tonight the secondary was lights out, blanket coverage.
Yep. Oh, they do a great job. Coach Strong gets those guys ready to play every week. He spends as all of our staff does, spends a ton of time in the film room, and he does a great job getting those guys prepared. And Coach C.J. Johnson does a great job with the D-line. So you know, it's a team effort.
Well, can you tell us anything at all about St. Thomas's offense and the challenge that you guys will have next week?
Haven't even seen them. Haven't looked at one clip. I didn't want to mess this up.
Spoken like a true veteran, Coach.
I'll be watching plenty, though, this weekend.
All right, thanks, Coach Baldini.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back in a minute with some interviews with Lakeland players.
Thanks, Jeff. Good job. First of all, Coach Castle, very excited to be back in the state championship game. You can tell he's kind of holding it down a little bit, but he's excited for this challenge. He said against St. Thomas, it will be that challenge. But he said we're coming to win. We're not just coming to be in it. We want to win this thing. And then of course, the unmistakable voice of Coach Baldini, who this was my favorite quote. He said the defense went in at halftime and they just weren't happy. So he said we balled in the second half, and in fact they balled in the second half. That defense played lights out, as Coach Castle said as well, and scored as many points or more points than the offense there in the third quarter. So a fantastic overall job by the offense, by the defense, to put themselves in a position to play this packed D1 loaded St. Thomas team next week at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. So I'm telling you guys, we're not just blowing smoke. If you like high school football at all, if you like football in general, if you want to see a caliber that you maybe haven't seen before live, this is going to be two teams that are extremely well coached, have players that you're going to see probably, no lie, 10 players next week on that field that will be playing on D1 teams on Saturdays. I'm not talking fluff teams. I'm talking Alabamas, Georgias. I mean, these are the guys that are going to make a difference coming up in some of the big college teams over the next few years. So it should be exciting, and it's one of those games I think you're going to say, remember when back in 2018 we were at Camping World Stadium and we saw that game between St. Thomas and the Lakeland Dreadnaughts? So I would encourage you to get your tickets. You can get them at Marshall's Jewelers, or you can get them at the guidance counselor office there on Hollingsworth Drive in Lakeland for just $12. And if you got some kids, take them over. It'd be a fun evening at 8 o'clock kickoff time next week. It's a little bit of a late start, so it might be late getting back, but it'd be worth the only 45, 50-minute drive to Camping World Stadium there in Orlando. So again, the Edgewater Eagles season comes to an end at 12-2. Valiant effort, but as Lakeland has done now through the playoffs, just rolling over Plant last week, rolling over the Eagles this week, and just seemingly this was destined to happen against St. Thomas. We all kind of thought that Lakeland had that capability, and we saw what St. Thomas had early on, and we said just maybe, and if that could happen, if the injuries stay at bay, if the Dreadnaughts don't have any major illnesses. We've seen even some times where half the team gets the flu in a season. So a lot that goes into getting to this position. And, of course, it's certainly the skill and the coaches and the hard-working players, as Coach Castle said, but it's also getting a few breaks. And so things have worked out for the Naughts, and we are back where we belong, as the T-shirt said. So, again, you can order that T-shirt starting Monday that Michael Barrett had up on the graphic, and you'll be able to take part. That'd be awesome to get that T-shirt and then wear it here over to the state championship game next week. So Jeff is muddling around down there in the sea of Dreadnaught fans, trying to find one. It may be difficult to find. It's like, where's Waldo? Trying to find Jahari Martin and maybe a couple of the players that we talked about that have had such a stellar game. But I think he may have rounded a few players up. So let's take it again. Back downstairs to one Jeff Goddard for our final interviews here at Bryant Stadium. Take it away, Jeff.
All right, we're with running back DeMarcus Bowman. DeMarcus, another big game for you tonight. 3 more touchdowns. It seemed like they're compared to last week. They made you really work to get the yards. Yeah. Talk about the difference between last week and this week.
I mean, we didn't really have too much of a, focus practice, but I mean, they was getting the best of. We really being ourselves. They can't play with us. How I feel.
Well, maybe the biggest drive of the game, most important, is after they take the lead 7-6, we answer back and score back-to-back 30-plus yard runs, including a 36-yard touchdown run. Talk about those 2 runs.
I was fired up, man. I really wanted it, so I had to go get it.
Your last touchdown there looked like they tried to grab you by the ankles, but you dove on the goal line and just got over the goal line. I can tell you were smelling that last touchdown.
Yeah, I was smelling it. I wanted it bad. I'm trying to run up my touchdown record. I broke it, and I'm trying to run it up there.
35 and 1 more game to go. What do you think? Maybe for next week?
Yeah, man, we coming.
All right, DeMarcus, thanks for your time and good luck next week.
Okay. We've interviewed DeMarcus a few times this year, a few words, but the one thing I like is that he's just like, first of all, did you see his fat content is low? I'm talking body fat ratio minuscule. So we always were getting older, appreciate that when we look at these young kids. But DeMarcus just smells the goal line. I mean, he just wants it. He just said it. That's it. I just want it. And so I like the fact that he's running up those touchdowns as Jeff Goddard now has Jahari Martin down on the field.
A kickoff return. Mm-hmm. All right, with Jahari Martin. Jahari, you're a man of all trades tonight, playing defense, offense, special teams. Love scoring anytime, but how special was that last touchdown you had, the kickoff return?
It was real special because when we was practicing in practice, I actually kept dropping the ball in practice. They wanted me to take it off, but then God just blessed me right there with that one.
I would venture to say maybe for the first time in the history of football, a linebacker scored a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In addition to that, you had 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. Talk about scoring all those points tonight.
The coaches just put us in position to make plays, and we just go out there and execute. That's all that is.
I noticed on a couple of your short touchdown runs or 2-point conversions that many times they actually hit you behind the line of scrimmage, and you just bounce off of them and fly forward. Just talk about the level of physicality you bring to that hammer package.
Yeah, you just got to run with a good pad level and keep your feet moving and just keep pushing forward now. I got my O-line pushing me ahead to get in the end zone. So that's all that is.
I got to ask you a question about defense. Just a dominant defensive performance by the entire defense, and all 11 of you playing together on the field. Just talk about what it's like to be a part of such a great defense.
It's great. It feels great. Coach Bodini always in practice. He always teaches us a swarm to the ball, 11 hats to the ball. So if it do break loose, we got 11 more people come to the ball, 10 more people come to the ball to help out. So
what do you want to play in college? Running back, linebacker, or kickoff returner?
Whatever they put me at. As long as I get on the field, whatever they put me at.
All right, thanks for your time, Jahari, and good luck next Friday night.
Yes, sir, thank
you. I think that's it. I think we're done. So we heard from Jahari Martin, DeMarcus Bowman, Coach Castle, and Coach Boldini. And, I that's what it is. That's what he said. That's how we do it. Yeah, I love a couple of the phrases that Jahari Martin used. And that's what it is tonight. 56-21 victory for the Knots. And we're going to go ahead and just sign off on this one for Michael Barrett, Jeff Goddard, Tim Conti, and the rest of the crew. We thank you so much for joining us here at Bryant Stadium in this 2018 season. This has been a true joy, and we just are so blessed. Again, thanking the good Lord above for all that he gives us and all that we have for Dreadnaught football. And so thank you to him, and obviously thank you to the crew. We hope to see you next week here at Camping World Stadium for the state championship game against St. Thomas. Should be a fantastic one. So for tonight, we'll sign off. Tim Conti, Jeff Goddard, Michael Barrett. God bless. Good night, everybody, and we'll hopefully see you next week.